submission was the outcome for the defiant. No matter how hard he would fight, in his world, he had no equal, no human spirit or thing. He bowed to absolutely no one. In his world, he was king. Now, slumbering in his watery abode. How he got there, no one knows. But I feel a connection to this creature. And each day, the connection grows. I'm driven beyond my boundaries by memories repressed. Some might label me crazy. Others might say I'm possessed. I'm told, do not awaken the beast, for you would never live to tell. But I'm afraid it's too late for me, for I'm already in the clutches of hell. So I decided to take the descent into the watery unknown, to come face to face with this creature, unprepared and all alone. I find myself submerged. The light in my eyes go dim, but I can feel the fragrant, powerful presence. Is he calling me, or am I calling him? My entire life flashes before my eyes as I plummet deep within. It gets colder and darker, and a freezing cold penetrates my skin. I hear confusion around me. Everything is pitch black. At this point, even if I wanted to, there's no way I can go back. I can hear the growls and the snarls, the darkest creatures of the deep. There is no waking up from this dream because I'm not asleep. My body goes limp as it becomes crippled with fear. I can feel it. I can feel it. My end is drawing near. I finally cease in my struggle, completely out of breath. I just lie there in the chaotic darkness and accepted my death. Then I felt him, that overwhelming power that caused everything to shake. The world, as I knew it, was about the chief horror of all horrors. I stayed still, waiting for the fatal blow he was about to give. But he spoke 4 words to me: embrace me and live.
All right, peace, people. Greetings. Shalom. Stop. Assalamu alaikum, ham and bacon. I want to welcome everybody to the show. We're going to bring our guest in a minute. That was Brother Stepawat, The Abyss. Something I kind of want to also start playing in the beginning. Mentioned the brother last time you saw the channel. He's actually a brother that's been taking some of my classes. You guys probably see him in the room. And I think it's a creative piece. I like it. It puts me in a certain frame of mind. I think it explains chaos, darkness, the abyss, and all that good stuff. All right. All right, real quick. This Friday, tomorrow, the 29th, we are doing a ritual of Kali Durga. That will start at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Pretty much know those who are attending. If there's anybody else that's going to attend and you have not contacted me, please contact me. Send me an invite. And also, I see, just want to acknowledge Brother Bal Cadman in the chat room. Appreciate him for tuning in with us. Also, upcoming classes. Well, this Saturday, again, I haven't heard from everybody that I sent the link to. Please confirm with me that you got the link. I don't want to be rushing around last minute on Saturday trying to do that. All right. So that's Saturday, 3 o'clock for those that did sign up for the classes. So don't forget to tune in. Also, on the, I believe it is just to get some upcoming shows. We won't be doing a show next Thursday due to an event that's possible. We might go on a different day. More than likely, no. The next 2 Thursdays, there will be no show. April 18th, the Thursday night show I'm talking about. April 18th, we will have Dr. Edward Bruce Bynum on the show live here. And on the 25th, we will have Brother Bal Cadman, who will be back on the show on the 25th. On May 18th, Richard K. Page returns to the show. As you know, he is a well-known Luciferian. He'll be back to discuss some more of his books. That'll probably be a special Saturday afternoon show due to where he's located. He's overseas, and as I mentioned before, when he came on last time, it's about a 6-hour time difference, I believe. So we have to get him on here at an earlier time where it's convenient for him. So he'll be back on the 18th. And that's pretty much what we got going on momentarily. If you need to reach me for any of the things mentioned, classes, readings, consultations, the email is in the description box. All right. So let me go ahead and send the link and bring our guests in. I'm going to send a link. Also, Raven will be joining us. Let me send her the link too. And let me send Bafa the link, our special guest, and we'll get everybody going here. All right. Let me now send the second link, and we are good to go. All right. All right. So the links are posted. They should be joining us shortly. And we will get going. We're going to talk about knowing your dark guides. That's the topic that we're going to be talking about tonight. We're going to dispel some of the myths, obviously, on that, and get into some of the core essence of it. So just wait till we get everybody in the room. Just hold on a second. We'll open up the phone lines a little bit later when you want to call in about an hour or so. All right. So as you know, what we've been doing, we've been bringing on. All right, see, Sister Raven, you're here. We've been bringing on different females lately. So
Hello.
All right, we got Sister Bafa here. All right. So I was just telling them, Bafa, before you came in, what we've been doing lately is bringing on different females, and the females we bring on obviously are very different. You guys have you're well-rounded, but obviously you have certain areas, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, that you guys are skilled in. So having said that, I know some people do know you. Those that don't, why don't you briefly introduce yourself and give a little background?
Hi, I'm Bafa. Bafa Marga from Facebook, Instagram, and other places that people may know me from. And I pretty much work with dark energy or the occult.
Okay. All right. Now, let's get a little specific in that. You chose the topic dark guides to you. Explain the listeners to you, not what mainstream might know about it. What is that to you when you say dark guides? Let's talk a little bit about that.
Okay, the dark guides are basically your I want to say like your protectors, like they've been watching over you since you were, like a baby and stuff like that. So people call them angels, but I don't call them that. I just call them like my guides, like me, myself, guiding myself, but not knowing that I'm doing that. But now,
Go ahead.
Okay, but now being on this path, that's where I'm learning more about dark energy and chaos energy and all, and we have various names that we use and call this energy, but this energy is your dark self, your shadow self, your dark guides. You are the one that's guiding yourself. You've been guiding yourself. You just didn't know, but you are all of these different guides. This is why I'm drawn to or pulled to this particular, information and energy and stuff, because it's been about, for me, darkness since I can remember, since I was a child, like a little girl. And the darkness would always, you know what I'm saying, like make me feel better. Okay. When I was, like upset or something, when I was a little girl and people were being mean to me and mistreating me and shit like that. So I would, go into a closet and hide in the darkness away from people. So what I learned about that is that it's peaceful. It's peaceful, very peaceful. And I got a lot of like different kind of healings when I was a little child from the darkness, just retrieving from people and hiding in the closets, and that dark energy just took me, away. It made me feel better. You know what I'm saying? But that's been my guide since I was a little girl. So I've been guided by the chaos energy since I was a little, since I was a little girl. And now I'm just understanding more about it now. You know, what it is to me, what it means to me.
Right. Let me ask you this, just for maybe newer people that might be listening, because I know people hear the term dark, and everything you're describing is, doesn't sound negative or gloomy at all. Now, when we say dark, just if you can clarify to some people that might be under religious indoctrination, because I heard you say you found an inner tranquility, an inner peace in that darkness and that chaos. So describe again when you're saying dark, just so newer people got a grasp of what you're talking about.
Okay. Let's see if I can get this on the lowest layman terms I can get. Okay,
In
your
your
dark.
own words. In your words. Yeah, in your words. Go ahead.
Yes. I feel that darkness is like where your true power lies. Like it's your higher self.
Right.
Your guide. You know your higher self, your higher self is your guide.
Right.
Your dark guide, but it's your higher self, your higher your source of energy, your power. You are supposed to be this energy. You're supposed to be the knower of this energy to know what it is. So even if you hear the term darkness, you should understand that that darkness is about you. It's about your mind. It's about your subconscious.
Right.
It's about, diving deep into your shit and getting your shit together once you start waking up to that shit. But when you don't know what it is and you spooked out about it, then you run from it.
Right.
Because you don't know about it.
Okay.
Or you've been indoctrinated to fear it, or, be afraid of your own shadow self. That's like the movie Us is breaking this same stuff down. I haven't even seen the movie yet.
Me either, but I want to see it.
Me too.
Yeah. All right. Good point. So now let's get a little bit specific. Why don't you share with us maybe some specific archetypes or deities that you work with? Some of the stuff you like to work with personally. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Just a little. Okay. I work with what people consider dark energy, but it's a healing energy and a loving energy and a fierce energy. But it's Santissima. I can't help but mention her because that's who I'm working with right now. So I have to mention her.
Okay.
And she has the dark aspect to her is what I resonate with most, which is her crone aspect or her feminine, which is what we're talking about, period. Right. This chaos energy, this dark energy, your higher self, just overall, just you, period. Everything about you is about your subconscious, your energy. So I work with, Holy Death. I like to call her Holy Death. Because that's what I'm dealing with right now. I'm going through a transformation. I'm dying,
Right. Correct. Well, that could be a good thing.
Yeah, and it is, and it really is. So I'm working with her at this moment, but I also work with the dark guides of Kali Ma, and also I look at Holy Death as one of my dark guides as well.
Okay.
And Kali Ma.
Well, let me ask you something about Kali Ma. I'm glad you bring that up. Obviously I see you wearing the sigil, but my question is, about Kali Ma. And, lately I've been on, again, we know there's the goddess and sexual energy. That's great. But now you said one of your dark guides, and I don't think that's focused on enough with Kali. So now we know there's different aspects of Kali. Now you said Kali Ma, and I know she could be ferocious. She could be a warrior-like type energy.
I deal with the warrior aspect of her because I need her. I need that because why? I'm a single woman. I'm out here by myself. So, I need some warrior bitches with me when I walk out my door, and got to go out here and get amongst these crazy folks out here. And I'm going to say it just like that because that's what this shit is. This is what it's about. And if you don't have your dark guides, they can be your goddesses and your gods together as a force. Because I'm getting tired of the separation of the one, because the two is really one, not two. So I have gods and goddesses, with me, and I keep them together as a force, not separated, or one is over here, one is over there. We need to stay, focused and in the center. And that's what I'm about. And yes, I do need warrior energy. Because like I said, I have to get out here and walk and take care of myself, because I don't really have like a lot of people looking out for me, but I have a lot of energy looking out for me, especially when I work with it. When you work with these energies, you become these energies. You are, putting these images and this information that you're absorbing, you're putting that shit in your mind. You have to use these things to even cleanse your mind, to even get rid of the bullshit that's in your subconscious mind that we've been, fed with since we were babies, like we speak on the show all the time about. And this is what these energies are for, you to cleanse yourself, because you are this energy. You can take this energy and use it to wreck yourself, or you could take this energy back and use it to cleanse and heal yourself. And that's the process I'm working with on myself right now. Okay. And I am trying to, just put that out there for everybody. But people take this shit as a joke.
No,
this shit is no joke.
Well, let me ask you this. It's not, and I'm glad you said that, because, well, as you know, lately I've been talking about, sometimes, like everything else, this is just my opinion, I ain't speaking for nobody, it tends to become a social club. It tends to become, the end thing to do. And I'm kind of where you're at. I take this not fanatically serious, but I take it serious. It's a way of life.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is not.
You have to take your life serious, because if you don't, who gonna do it? Nobody is gonna do this shit for you. Just like I tell people are so lazy nowadays. They don't want to pick up a book. They don't want to do nothing. I mean, you try to help them. You give them information on how to heal, self-healing. That's what this path of self teaches you about. At least that's what it teaches me about. To love myself.
Right. Well, that's key. That's key. So let me ask you this, and I know we talked about this a while back on an older show. Let me ask you this. Being on this path, being female. Now, we also know on other paths, it could be Kemetic consciousness or other systems of spirituality. What kind of, in your experience, not from anybody else's experience, what kind of bullshit, for lack of a better word, do you deal with or have you dealt with? Because I know it's hard enough being on some of them other paths, but this path takes, to my opinion, a lot more courage, especially in mainstream society. So talk a little bit about that.
Well, I deal with a lot of, I don't even want to talk about that shit, but I deal with enough shit to where I know I have to deal with this energy right here to so I can make it through the day and make it through the night. Because if I didn't have this, if I wasn't aware of this energy and how to utilize it properly for myself to, change my life, or, just to help me to do whatever I need to do. But I have a whole lot of, different people that not a lot, but enough people that I deal with, like dead good people, but, you care about them and stuff like that. So you go over and you check on them. You see, because I'm a real good, let me say this too. I'm a very, very good, I don't want to say I'm a good person, but I know that I'm a godly person, because the word good and God is the same word. But I know I'm that because I go around and I help people and I don't ask them for shit. I just do it out of the love of my heart, because I'm helping myself when I do that. I feel like that person is me, so let me go, even out of their ignorance, they don't know no better. Let me do this for me, because that's helping me to grow and get better with myself and get more, powerful within myself by doing these sort of things. So that makes me feel kind of good when I'm able to do that. But sometimes I can't deal. I can't be around it. I can't, because it drains me. I can't do it.
Now, the only reason why I was asking, because and again, from my experience, I know in some of them other conscious paths, systems, I've found the experience, not just, from my older ways of thinking, but I still see this currently. I think a lot of men are intimidated by a woman that's a free thinker, that stands on their own, that has their own voice, their own opinion. In that light, because to be on this path and to work with this type of energy, the occult left-hand path, it's a path, like you said, you're laying claim to being, the God, you're God, you're in control. You don't conform to any of that. And I've seen, obviously, you see over the years, like somebody such as yourself and other females, it's not sometimes well received, unfortunately, by certain men. That's the only reason why I was bringing it up, not to give it, too much life and energy.
And B, it's not just men, it's women too.
Well,
They don't
we'll talk about it.
Can't roll with me because I ain't on that shit they be on. I'm sorry.
We'll talk about it.
I got a side to you that'll clown on you. But I don't like to do that. I'm like I said, I'm peaceful, I'm cool, I love people, everything, but I also hate y'all too. At the same time, just don't bring that part of me out. Right. But people, these women, they test you too, and really I try to help them too. Like, really, sis, I'm you. I'm tired of seeing y'all looking like this. Right. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of y'all going to concerts and ain't wearing no panties just to get a pick-me. You want to be a pick-me bitch for a nigga. I'm tired of seeing and hearing that shit. My daughter be telling me all kind of shit. Because she, if it wasn't for me, she probably wouldn't be where she is on this path right now. But she knows some things and she carry herself a certain way, but she sees these things. And she be coming back saying stuff to me about it, like, mama, what is wrong with us? You know what I'm saying? Right. So I'm glad to be on this path because trust me, it's helping me to stay on point. Trust me, it's keeping me right there in the center. Right there at that black dot, you know what I'm saying? At that fucking demon mark right there. Because I need this energy to roll out here, okay? Because these people ain't playing. They doing whatever. And I ain't playing because you ain't gonna do whatever to me. And that's that.
Right. No, and you bring up a good point earlier. And that's
crazy doing anything for money, for dick. I mean, it's crazy. Shit.
No, but you bring up
I'm a female. That shit make me look bad.
Right. No, but I'm saying not to give it, I'm glad you gave your feedback on that. But you bring up a good point earlier, and that's the objective. I said, I think it was the other night or last week, I can't remember. I'm trying to show listeners, like you say, it shouldn't be separated, that whole male and female thing. And that's what I'm trying to show people by bringing on women such as yourself. Right. That, look, man, there's females out here doing it, just as good or better. And what I'm trying to eliminate, I tend to see, even in the occult path and the left-hand path, there still is that male chauvinism.
Yes, it is.
I'm not saying everywhere, but it does exist. So I'm trying to break that stereotype. And I agree with you. I think we got to stop separating, because my thing is you can either hold your own and you're a powerful black adept, or you're just not. I don't give a shit if you're male.
Yes. Yes.
Yo, hey, I have a question.
Raven.
Hey, Raven.
Hey, girl. Hey, what you doing, girl? I hear you, girl. But listen, you said something. I want to cycle back on that, if that's all right, because you said something about preparing yourself to deal with the world, right? When you step out your door. I would like for you say you use your guides for such a thing. So give us some, what do you do to prepare yourself to face the world outside your door, utilizing your guides? Is there something that you prepare? Is it, is it a mantra, affirmation you say? What is it that you do utilizing these different energies to prepare yourself? That's my question.
Yes, mantras. I say mantras when I wake up in the morning. That's the first thing I do. I like to, say things, and I also like to do things like get into working on my jewelry, playing music. I do a lot of things to prepare myself before I go out. I like to take a spiritual bath. I like to cook me some food, maybe if I'm in the mood, feeling like I want to eat something good before I leave out the door, or, just sit in my house and just meditate on me, just cleansing my mental, getting rid of a lot of junk in my head before I even step out the door. So that's the whole purpose of just your daily ritual. And I think that if people start to incorporate that more, that would help them to kind of ease a lot of the stuff that we are all dealing with, in a sense. We're just on a path that's helping us to deal with it on a higher level. So yeah, I study. I wake up and study and do all this, like basically like things that keep me, in my space and where I need to be focused. Because when you go out the door, you got to stay focused too. So yes, I take my guys with me everywhere I go. And I wear my jewelry. I have different things that I like to wear to protect myself. I like t-shirts with different sayings on them or different deities on them. Like I have a t-shirt that I did with Baphomet on it. Yes, I love to wear my Baphomet shirt out. But that shirt holds a lot of power for me when I wear that, and it protects me, because I put that energy in that. Yep. And people call it dark energy, but to me, that's your power. That's really you. You're the alchemist. So you got to get up every day and work your alchemy on your reality, so it can turn out how you want it. So.
Hey, Bafa, why don't you also let people know? I forgot about that when you came in.
Yeah.
Let them know. I forgot. Let them know about the jewelry and the T-shirts and
Yes.
put your email out there. Totally forgot about that.
Yes, I will. Oh, you want me to do that right now?
Sure. Yeah, do it now, and then we'll make sure you do it again before you leave. Let them know where they can contact.
If you want to, get some healing jewelry, protection jewelry, dark, what I like to say is dark energy jewelry, whatever. But if you're ready for that and you want to get hooked up, you can hit me at Bafa Marga at gmail.com. Wait a minute. Wait. Do you have it? Because I have 3 of them. So
hold on. I think I got the 7. Yeah, I'll tell you which one I got. Hold on.
Okay, because I have 3 and I get confused sometimes.
No. I'll tell you the one that I have on, the one that I contact you at. Hold on, I'll tell you right now. I can put it in the chat.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
No, I got the one I sent you.
Yeah, put it in the chat. Yeah.
Bafa Marga 999 at gmail.com.
Yes, that's it. Well, that's one of them.
All right.
That's the one we can contact you for. That's the one we can contact you, or everyone can contact you for
jewelry.
For your
yes, for my jewelry. Yes.
All right.
For my jewelry, my t-shirts, my lotion. I make lotion too. I make healing lotion.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So
I was gonna say those are like the things that keep me, preparing myself. For whatever I got to go out here and deal with on a daily, because I have to get out, like we all do. So this is why we protect ourselves. Shit. And
understood.
Our dark guide.
Yeah, understood. So, Beniti alluded to it a little earlier. I just want to follow back on something else yet again. I'm sorry. I guess I'm doing the follow back, girl. I'm on that fallback. Okay, I'm on that fallback tonight. But relationships, right? As you stated, I heard you say that you're single. So I don't know. So how does how do you deal with bringing or introducing this, or if you even let a person know what you do, as in a significant other, someone that may be interested in you? How do you handle that as a female on this walk?
You're asking me about like a relationship with a male?
Yeah, like it's someone as a dating relationship. Because I did hear you say you're single, but that doesn't mean that you're not, out there, on the hunt, as they say. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. Well, I just be myself, basically. I don't like to. I'm tired of hiding. Okay, so I hide certain things, but being myself, I don't feel like I should have to hide that. That's why I'm on this show speaking tonight, because I need to come out, because sometimes I'm a little shy, but I need to break that. And that's something that I've been having a problem with. So it's good to, come out and just be yourself. Whether people like you or not, I don't give a shit. Kiss my ass. I don't care.
Well, one thing I've always said, and one thing that's important on this path is, look, that's part of the thing. You can't be concerned, when anybody thinks about you. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. So you got to basically have that, like you say, like you just described, you got to have that tough skin. you extend that kindness to people that show you that
Yeah,
kindness.
because I've had people to run over me because of that. And that's why I said I'm coming out like Diana Ross. Fuck that. I'm coming out. Deal with it or not. Shit. I want the world to know.
There you go. All right. So outside of Ray, I'm sorry, Raven. Do you have some more questions?
No, go ahead.
By the
Say
way,
what you had to say.
what's up, girl? I love you, just so you know. And this ain't none of that bullshit. When I tell somebody I love them, I do.
Okay, because I don't want you coming for me.
Oh,
I
I
don't want you
don't
coming
come
for
for
me.
you as long
I don't
as you
want you
don't
coming
come
for
for
me.
me.
I know you nice and all, cause you nice sometimes. Okay, I don't want you come. I don't
You
want you
all
coming for
good
me,
with us.
girl. It's all good. Love you too. All right.
Yes. All right.
All right. So let's talk about. I heard you mention a couple. Some dark guides. Ritualistically, is there anyone in particular, specifically for ritualistic work, that you tend to focus on? I'm not talking just about attributes. I know you mentioned the Holy Death, but ritualistically, is there anyone more than the other, particularly that you have a preference of working with, and for what reason?
Okay. I like to work with Holy Death, like I said. And I work with Holy Death because Holy Death, especially the crone aspect to her, meaning her darker aspect,
Right.
her darker form, or that particular energy in myself. So I like to utilize and tap into that energy because it's good for protection. And I need protection, love, self-love, um, all kind of different things that I can just, I don't know, change. It helps me to just kind of change and keep my focus, and just, it's always like a point of reference that I can always go to for something that I need to help me when I'm on like a ritualistic type of thing for a personal
Right.
thing that I need to face or something, because I have a lot of trauma, so I like to use Holy
Sure.
Death for, helping me with my traumas,
Right.
Because trust me, I don't want to talk about any of them right now, but that's what I pick her for. That she's really good for that to me.
Okay.
For me.
Well, I'm glad you bring up, because I've always said in my experience working with Santissima Muerte, the Holy Death, it's a great road clearing energy. And I know you mentioned Kali Ma earlier.
Yeah.
Those are both of them, in my opinion, and listening to you say, I'm glad you connected it to, just so when listeners are listening, when we say trauma, let's not think of the medical term like there's some
Right.
serious. No, it's just stuff that impact your life, stuff that you deal with.
Child and stuff. Yes.
Right. To me, they're great energies to work, with bringing that change, in my opinion, that, so many people need, and they kind of give you that swift kick in the ass. Sometimes we need that. Sometimes It's not always just about, getting that. I mean, look, I'm not saying sometimes you don't need that compassion and delicateness, but I think sometimes we focus on that shit too much and we get coddled. So I'm glad you bring those two aspects, Kali Ma and the crone, or the black aspect of the Holy Death, which leads me to the next question. And then in about 10 or 15 minutes, we're going to take some calls and questions for you. And just so listeners are listening, I'll give out the phone number. You'll be able, if you want to come in, and ask a question live in the chat room. But again, I'm just going to reiterate, please do not have background devices on. Do not have a whole bunch of background noise, or I got to mute you. All right. So just be conscious of that when we get to that point, because no matter how many times I say that, it never works. So having talked about, let's talk a little bit about ancestral worship and working with the spirits of the dead. Do you incorporate any ancestral aspect into your work, as far as acknowledging your ancestors, or do you do any of that stuff at all?
Honestly, I do ancestral work, but My ancestral work is more about the ancient ones, like the ancient ancestors, like
Gotcha.
the chaos beings, this what we're talking about. I
Right.
basically just deal with the dark energy, period. Like
Right.
I don't really even have anybody, like I don't even know like my family. Like I know
Okay.
my mother, but trust me, I don't know a lot of my family like that.
Okay. So you don't
I
have it.
I
Okay.
don't have like a lot of connections or pictures and different stuff like that. My mother ended up passing at her, in her like 60s. So I didn't get a chance to really talk to her and ask her anything.
Okay. So you don't have
Um,
that thorough history of
yeah.
your
I mean,
bloodline.
I do. Don't get me wrong. I do. I have her on my altar. I have my brother, on my altar. So they're
Mhm.
connected to me. So yeah, I do it, but they're incorporated with all the other, energies that I, work with.
Okay. No, that's why I was asking. And what about, I mean, do you connect that on any level to necromancy or work with any spirits of the dead? Like Voodoo, do you work with any aspects of, like Baron Samdi, Mama Brigette?
Oh
And
yeah.
let's talk a little. I know you do. That's why I'm asking. Let's talk a
Yes,
little
I
bit about
have a
that.
few. And Mama Bridget, that's right.
Mhm. Go
Yes,
ahead.
I do. I work with them, of course, and that's where my mother and my brother, that's where they are on the altar with them.
Okay.
Yes. So yes, I do the necromancy, working with the graveyard deities. Yes, because they're all connected to me, like they're dark guides.
Hmm.
They're
Okay.
dark guides or dark angels or whatever, angels of light or current. So yes, they're connected. So yes, I work with them. And I like to keep Baron Sambi and Mama Bridget together. I don't like to separate them. I hate
Okay.
that. I'm Mama Bridget. No, I'm both of them motherfuckers. I can't be one without the other.
Well,
Shit.
yeah. I mean, they represent, it's the
I
masculine,
mean,
and the
especially,
feminine. Yes.
yeah, especially when you're working with your own energy and working with yourself. That's why I say that. I don't like to separate those energies like that.
So now let's talk about we're talking about self dark eyes. Let's talk about the importance of doing that shadow work of getting yourself right, because so many times I see people come on this path. They want to come on the path for money and sex magic only. Not that stuff don't serve a purpose. That's not what I'm saying, because
Mm-hmm.
it does serve a purpose. But I see people kind of tend to do it backwards. They're looking for that stuff first and they're not taking care of themselves. So what's, to you, in your experience, in your work, what's the importance of doing that shadow work, that internal work on getting your shit right, for lack of a better word? Talk to me a little bit about that.
Okay, I feel that for me, the important thing was behind tapping into, getting back on this path of self, um, is about cleansing, healing, and clearing your mind out. Meaning that we have to get all the bad, all the traumas and all the pains and hurts and disappointments. I mean, just whatever it was that caused us to be a wimp in life,
Mm-hmm.
or just whatever that caused you to be an asshole, or just whatever is causing you to be lazy, or whatever has hindered you and got you stuck or stagnant. You know what I'm saying? You want to clean that shit up out of your energy. You want to take this dark energy and purify yourself with it, meaning purify your mind. You got to get in the subconscious. The subconscious is the blackboard. And if
Mm-hmm.
this board is full of clutter and dirt and toxins and poisons, you can't do nothing. You're gonna be like a zombie out here. You ain't gonna want to do shit but smoke weed, sit on the couch and play video games and shit. I'm tired of niggas doing that shit, man. Get up off your ass and take a bath. We need to do cleansing baths every day. Niggas toxic like a mug out here. Hell, I'm toxic. That's why I have to do the stuff that I was telling Raven that I have to do to keep my aura cleansed and all that shit. I
Mm-hmm.
have to keep baking soda. I have to keep apple cider vinegar, bleach, ammonia, Lysol. Yes, I do put that shit in my water. I don't know about nobody else, but Shit, it's hard out here for a guy that's running around. But I'm just being silly. But now I don't even like to call myself that. I just like to call myself Marga. Me, I said whatever. But yeah, but real talk. People are very, very toxic out here. That's what people be talking about. People are vampires. They're shit. Of course, they vampire. They toxic motherfucking parasites or leeches. The fuck you think? Now you gotta cleanse yourself so that when they try to, cling on to you, they can't touch you. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if they even get an inkling of you, maybe some are changing them. I don't know, but it's a lot of toxic stuff going on. Meaning it's a lot of toxic thoughts, poisonous thoughts, and that's why people are out here doing these fucked up things out here in the streets. Want to pass laws about pedophilia and all this kind of shit. I'm tired of this. Some got to give. That's all I got to say. Shit.
Yeah,
y'all niggas better get on the dark stuff. That's all I got to say. Shit, because ain't nothing else working.
Yeah, I'm with you with that pedophilia shit, man.
Oh no, man.
I'm totally against that shit.
Hell no, I'm tired of this shit.
Totally against that.
I got grandbabies, okay, and I love little children because they the real true dark angles, okay. Shit.
True.
Don't mess with them. That's another reason why I got my girl Holy Death out too, because she don't play that about children.
That's true.
And I send her at niggas' asses. Yes, I do. I will send her at you. No, don't fuck with no children, and don't fuck with mama, cause mama don't play that.
That's right.
We just gotta be real out here. We gotta stop being punks. Niggas are scary. They always talking stupid shit about the government. I don't be want to hear that. Nigga, what are you doing to fix that shit, though? Shit.
That's true.
What are you talking about? Trump this, Trump that. I don't give a fuck. I don't even know who these niggas are. Who are they? I don't even watch TV. So I don't keep up with that shit. I'm telling you, Beniti, I don't play around here.
I got
about you. My path. I'm telling you. Trust me, I'm a do me, but I ain't gonna brag on that shit. I'ma just show you. That's what I do. It's better to show a motherfucker than tell them. And that's what I tell motherfuckers to do for me. Show me and stop running your mouth. Show me that you know this shit. Show me that you about this shit. Do it then. I'm doing it. I warmed up to do it. Manned up, whatever. Shit, I'm about it. I'm about that business.
Right. And that's I'm
about my business.
And that's great. That's great to hear. That's great to hear from a woman's point, because you don't hear women being so raw like that. You don't hear women, they always come across so passive. They don't have that passion. They don't show that passion.
Yes.
In their work and what they're doing. How long have you been in this here, Bafa?
Oh shit! I want to say since I was a little girl, but I was being prepared for it then. I'll say that my guys were preparing me, but I actually got more serious about this path once I started listening to Om. When Primordial Chaos was named titled Om, or Awakening Universal Minds, because still working with these energies, they were telling me like, look, you need to listen to this shit because you're not doing this shit. So this shit is going to make your ass do that shit. You got to do it or else you fail yourself. And I don't want to be a failure to myself. Shit. I'm trying to get the fuck up out of Dodge. Okay. Y'all can have the hoe. I'm rested. Geo. Okay. Shit. I'm 53. Shit. I'm ready. Okay. But I know where I'm going, and that's the difference with this path. That helps teach you some shit before you croak about this motherfucker, and then you going back or coming back into the light and shit. I love the darkness. I'm sorry, fuck that. The chaos, yes, the primal shit is what I am. That's what we all have in us, and we need to start tapping into that shit and start understanding that alchemy, this science, this energy. You are that shit. How many times I keep telling y'all niggas this shit? You're not listening. You keep listening to Trump. That's y'all problem. Clean that shit up out your mind. I'm tired of it because that shit is going down. Okay? I'm a warrior. That's what I come to do. That's why I fucks with Kali. That's why I fucks with Holy Death. I fucks with the Spider Goddess. I fucks with a lot of shit. But I just represent it as dark energy or chaos. Y'all want some order? Bring the disorder first, because otherwise you ain't getting none. Okay? Fuck that. That's why I tell niggas that want to fuck me, no, you ain't getting none of this, because this some deadly shit. Okay? You don't want none of that, because you ain't ready for it. You go clean your mind up, nigga, and come back. That's why I'm single. I don't have time to be raising boys. I have little grandboys. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas act more like men than they daddies. I'm tired of this shit. You know? Shit, damn right. I'm going to the chaos for this shit down here, or your ass gonna get obliviated.
Hey, let me put
like
let me just put a disclaimer out there. We try to warn everybody before they tuned in. I try to give you guys the heads up. So I'm just giving you the heads up. But go ahead.
Okay, what's the disclaimer? Shit.
So the disclaimer,
all my shit. I'm claiming all my
fire was
coming.
That fire was coming.
I was trying to tell them, be prepared. I was trying to tell them.
Motherfucker gonna get their ass dissed tonight. Bring some diss shit over here. Shit. I ain't just talking either. I'm for real. This is my work. For real, Raven. This is how it gets down. I talk to myself and everything. Because why? That's my higher self and my lower self at war with each other. But I got this. I run this shit. Ego, go sit your ass down. I got this, okay? And yes, I do use profanity. Why? Because I was brought up in an environment. That's all they did. Shit. So hey, I don't mind it, and I love it because it's like a weapon to me. Shit, I'll be like, yeah, what you say, bitch? No.
Well, that's what words are, right? That's what words are. Words for spells.
I may not know about it, but
words are spells. That's what they are, okay, and we must use them and wield them as a weapon. So we'll be doing ourselves a disservice if we didn't do such a thing. That's not understanding the words that you speak that come out of your mouth. They say let the words of my mouth be the okay. Don't maybe I'm about to go biblical, but that's fine. No, he was just saying that we knew it was gonna be just straight fire tonight. Because you always come with fire and passion.
We need some of that every now and then, not all the time, but some.
That's right. Sometimes to shake you up, make you think differently.
Yes, but in the times that we're in right now, it's this time. It's time for that. Okay, this was written, so it's supposed to happen. It's supposed to go down like this. Because, like I said, niggas call and tell me what's going on with y'all. If y'all got some questions, ask yourself the question first, and then ask me. And then give me some answers because I need to know some shit too. I'm here to learn. And I'm here to learn. I'm a teacher and I'm also a student that's learning. And I need to know what's up, And I'd rather have this food than be looking at TV talking about some Trump and all this other mess. No, I don't feed my energy into that crap. I have to preserve my energy. Niggas talk about vampire magic. Then if it's vampiric, then you should be out here snatching all kind of motherfucking shit up.
Okay. Exactly.
Definitely right. Shit, I don't give a fuck. Your tentacles ought to be all over the place, crushing some shit up. Shit, because my shit is destructive. I don't know what y'all talking about. All this energy, that atom is the bomb. Ain't that what they call the atom bomb? That's exactly what it is. Mama is a bomb, okay, and she's coming. Matter of fact, she here. Ain't no coming. She already here.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I think she already here. They just ain't, that wave just ain't hit them yet. That wave just ain't hit them yet, but let them step in your sphere.
I'm loving this show, though.
They gonna feel it.
Because, like Beniti always say, you see platforms out here with a lot of these, males, but they don't have the women on there. But they always talking about the Black woman is God. I don't want to hear that shit. Why? Because I know that. So I don't need to hear some shit I already know. But that
shit is, they say
I don't need
that.
You know what I'm saying? I need to hear.
Yeah, but they looking at the lower females. Exactly. They going to females that may not have that type of knowledge or that type of self-confidence in themselves.
One of them, but I can play her
as you do. So therefore, so therefore, that's what they do. You get that everywhere. You get that in the church. You get that at your job. You get that at the
grocery store, honey. I done had them come up to me, girl, and I'll be like, nigga, what you gonna do for me? This how I talk to them. Shit, what you got? You look like, you look like you need to take a bath, but that's what I'm saying in my head. But trust me, if I had to say the shit, I said to them too. Shit, fuck that. I'm tired of being scared of motherfuckers. Fuck that. You dirty. Get your shit together. You know, women too, and they be quick to want to clown you, the girl, the women. I be like, girl, really, you came out the house looking like that? Man,
Well, you know, my thing is Bafa, straight no chaser. You give it to everybody, straight no
yeah,
chaser. You know, as
exactly. It's terrible. I mean, good
adults, we
grief.
all need to
And
stand on our
be
square
my
and get it with how you get
look
it.
at me and look
I
at you.
agree.
Nah, it don't work like that, boo. You need to get your life together, get your mind together, and people are lazy. They don't want, most people don't even have books in their
Very
house.
much so.
You know what I'm saying? They might have a Bible or something, but they don't even read that. Shit, you might well burn it up and throw it on in trash. You don't even read that. You just programmed to do all this silly shit. You know what I'm saying? Let's stop this mess, man. Everybody, I know who I am. I'm a god. How you a god and you walking around with your pants? You got dirty. You know, that's why I felt Auntie that and I was bugging up. She was talking about the dudes and how they, you know, they be sagging and, you know, the drawers dirty and stuff like this. You know, this stuff is crazy. You know, I was
Yeah, it is crazy. But
one
listen,
time.
hey Bafa, wait a
Mhm.
second. Wait a second, Bafa. Let me back up a little bit. Let me back up. I ain't mean to cut that foul, but you just said something. I just want to get back to it before it leave me again. When you were speaking of your daughter, so if I'm understanding correctly, she's walking the same path you walking, right?
Yes, but at her pace, okay? Because I came into it, you know, when she was probably about maybe 5 years old or something when I actually started, you know, waking up. When I was
Oh,
starting to wake up, you know, but this
okay. So
part,
she was
this,
around five something when she, when you starting to,
when
come.
I actually woke up and I started teaching her things about, you know, who she was, who we are. Yeah.
Okay, then
So
that's where I was going. So,
yeah.
because we
Hmm.
tried to not, I was a little older. My children, were older into
Hmm.
it. So, what do you think of this idea of parents force feeding this information to their children? I understand that you was teaching her, but you was teaching her to give her knowledge of self. I understand that, but we just talking about in general, because you have had that experience because you're a
Yeah.
parent. Um, can you just talk about that? How do you feel about, even your daughter, how receptive she was to the information? Do you let her go on and apply it as such? And if she have questions, come back to you, just we're trying to figure out that dynamic.
Yeah, I basically, like I said, I didn't I actually took my daughter out of school and you know, I homeschooled her the best way I knew how because
Okay.
I'm self-taught, okay? Because I dropped out of school, you know, I was pregnant with my son and I had to be a mother. So hell with the school, the education system ain't shit anyway. So well, at that time I didn't know that, but I know it now. But yeah, I was a young girl, young mother, 18, 19 years old with with a child. But, you know, my son is like 6 years older than my daughter. So she's, you know, I had her when, you know, he was a teenager and he was gone. But anyway, yeah, like I said, she was 5 and I taught her at home and I just taught her things that I was learning, you know, how to take care of herself. I was learning about health, you know, natural healing and stuff like that, using herbs and stones and stuff like that, you know, and I was teaching,
Hmm.
actually I
Hmm.
was utilizing these things on my daughter. I stopped taking her to the doctors, you know, I stopped
Hmm.
getting her vaccinated, all that stuff, because I started waking up to these things, you know. And
All
that's
right.
just the way I moved with her. But now, you know, with her being around me, you know, I'm her mother. So I'm myself around her. I don't hide anything. So she trust me, she know all about this. Yes, but she's
Understood.
on her pace with it because she's a mother now herself. So she got a lot of stuff on her plate that's keeping her on her plate. You know, she's got a lot on her plate that's keeping her from actually, you know, really practicing like me. See, I have the freedom now. I can do that, you know, to where she can't
Hmm.
practice it like that. But her mind, trust me, she got more sense than the average person out here, you know, for her not to even go to church. She know all about religion and all that stuff, but she don't, you know, she like the Buddha. She taps into that. She loves that. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So I let her roll with that and I don't ever try to force feed anything on her or any of that. I let her move on her own pace. You know what I'm saying? So when she,
Understood. 'Cause
you
she's
know,
here for her own purpose.
yeah,
Understood.
yes, and I didn't force any, and anything on her, and I don't bother her now. I let her live her life and do her or whatever, but I'm here for her, whatever, and I use this energy to protect them, and all that. So yeah, no, I don't play when it comes to that. So yeah, so if you do have children, you want to incorporate, this information to them, but you got to know how to get it to them, but they have to be. I think it's good that parents homeschool their children, or anyway, you are the first parent, or teacher, so you have to teach your children things that especially if it's things that are good for you. If it's good for you, then it's going to be good for them as well. And not only that, they'll start learning those ways and practicing those ways for themselves, so later they won't be out here being a fucking retard.
Okay, understood. And so with that saying, because we was talking about the little female aspect, and not to harp on it, but I just want to have it from another woman's perspective. So you have social media, because I heard you get about your social media platforms. So how do you feel? Because you probably have come across with these females constantly putting across this path as if it's all sexual. They doing something. They're doing something. They're doing the most. How do you feel about that? How do you think that portrays us in this light? I know you spoke about it, I believe, if I remember correctly, for more of a almost like a worldly manner, but if you can speak on that.
Okay, well, I just feel like females, I'm a female, or I'm a, whatever shit, female, and or woman, whatever. I just really think that sisters really need to stop playing these games too with this energy, because this shit ain't no joke like that.
There you go.
Especially, if you saying that I'm a goddess and all that. See, I don't run around saying that shit. I don't like that. Why? Because you got to do work to become a god or whatever, goddess or whatever. So if you're not putting in this work, especially, a woman, you're the woman, you're the bringer. You bring the shit. You know what I'm saying? You bring, you give life, you birth things into this reality or your reality. You know what I'm saying? You incubate all of these thoughts and things in your fertile soil, which is your dark energy, which are your dark guides. These little workers, they're like little worker bees, but they little demons. They the energy. So you're dealing with souls. And then when you get pregnant and bring babies here and you're not right in the mind, you're birthing a bunch of, toxic, you know what I'm saying? Like information and different type of, you just birthing a whole bunch of toxic men and daughters, sons and daughters. And like I said, I had two. So if I knew the stuff that I know now, that I know right now, that, I would have, man, trust me, my babies would be so much better. They would be so, their paths wouldn't be as hard. You know what I'm saying? Because messing with your power, oh man, it ain't nothing like it. It may be hard because when you're changing, the work is gonna be hard because you got to put in work. So women need to stop, saying that they're goddesses, and then when you look at them, they still doing a whole bunch of shit that the chicks, down here on the corner where I like to go hang out sometimes and just show love to people down there, the crackheads and stuff down there. They need to quit putting on, this, or, putting on this, they need to stop putting on these little facades and putting on their little costumes and running around talking about they goddesses and shit. And to me, y'all ain't no better than the crackheads down here on the corner on Dr. Martin Luther King Street in St. Louis, Missouri. So I don't give a fuck. I'm just saying, y'all need to step your game up and stop making, because I'm not gonna say they make us look bad or make me look bad, but on a whole scale, or like on a whole, like a whole, that shit do affect you because you represent that shit. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. Men too. Men that's talking about they all this and that, but look at all these niggas out here. That's a reflection of you, man. So that means you ain't fixing nothing. You just throwing an outfit on and covering and just talking shit. But you not being about this business of trying to clean up y'all say y'all love the hood, the neighborhood, y'all love, black people and stuff like this. Well, why come y'all not helping these people change by changing yourself? Stop this mess with all of this. I love my people. No, I can't say that. I can't say that. Not the way shit is right now. No, I can't.
I'm worried about self first and all that other stuff.
Okay, girl,
all
nah.
that other stuff will come. So
these women got to step it up and stop pretending too, because they pretend too. They got to put in the work too. Y'all got to put in the work. Y'all got to start messing with these deities. Y'all got to start embracing yourself.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because you stated you work with energies that people would typically, as you stated earlier, would be perceived to be all scary. I'm just going to use that word, scary,
or spooky,
because they think anything spooky. Yeah, that's what they think that it is, but it's not.
It's not spooky.
If I'm understanding you correctly, that is what working with that energy is what brought you the greater changes. That when you really started getting on this path and delving in, going deep, that's when it brought that change in you. And from what I hear, that's what you want. I think I've listened to you over this. I can see a difference just from before on the the old platform that you had mentioned earlier to now. There has been growth, and you and I kind of walk that same path. It's not easy, and it's that is 100% work, but
like I said, we have to do a lot of work, and we still, have to put out a lot of energy, because we want to, put out this energy to protect our babies, ourselves, just people in general that we just care about and stuff like that. So, you have to really be serious about this work if you're talking about being on this path, period. If you're talking about you're on a path of self and you're doing this and you're doing that, then like you all always say, then you will see that it'll show for itself, what people are doing. And that's why it's so easy to just point people out and know when they just talking shit.
Good point.
Shit.
All right, so Bafa, what we're going to ready to do is we're going to open the phone lines. We're going to take some questions for you, but real quick, let me we're going to have Raven, you watch the chat. I'll go back and forth to you. This way it'll make it easier for me. So I won't even look at the chat. I'm going to leave that up to you. We'll kind of go back and forth. Again, just want to remind people a couple things. One, I'm going to give you the phone number in a second. If somebody is on the phone, you're calling in, I just automatically have to send it to voicemail. I can't answer it when there's somebody on the line. So try to call in when the line is free. If you're calling in and somebody's on the line and you get the voicemail, just keep calling back. I just go in order. It's just like calling a radio station, same thing. You kind of got to go in order. Again, to answer the pre-questions, some people will ask what kind of device you can call in from anything that can dial a phone number. It's a cell phone. You can call in from your computer. If you're old school and you got Magic Jack, no, let me stop. But you can call in anything that dials a phone number. It's that simple.
Magic Jack.
Yeah, I had throwbacks, a Magic Jack.
That is so long.
I will watch the bottom of the chat, Raven, to look for people that want to come in the room. So I'll keep my eyes on the very bottom of the chat. You can look at the top and go through it for questions. I know Sister Myra's also watching, and she typed in, put your questions in cap. So make sure it'd be easy. You do that. This way Raven can spot them a lot easier because the shit all looks the same and sometimes we miss them. Understand too, I know some people I see commenting, they say their questions disappear. It's not that. If you use, sometimes it's YouTube automatically. If you use profanity or something in a statement or a question, it automatically hides it. I just want you to keep that in mind.
Something else.
Yeah, they do.
Hell no.
So if you've typed a question in with something that might cross that line, it's just, they just do it. It's not that it disappeared.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All right, if you come in the room, and I do send you the link for the chat, again, I want to reiterate, please make sure you don't have a lot of background noise. If you're not speaking, you can mute your mics, and if you got to move around, that's fine. We won't hear all the background noise. And do not have another device playing in the background. There's so many times we have people that'll call in on they're tuning in their phone or their tablet, and they got their laptop or their desktop in the background or another device playing. What happens is we hear an echo. We hear everything twice. You may not hear it on your end, but I can hear it, and the listeners can hear it on this end. All right. So
you know what that remind me of?
What's that?
You know that when you back in the day when you called in the radio stations and you want to hear yourself on the radio station.
Yeah, same thing. It's the same shit. That's pretty much what it is. The reverb, the echo, reverberation.
Yeah, right? It reverberates. You want me to take a question from the
we'll
chat or
the chat.
A call?
Let me put the call number in, 561-962-1137. That's the call number. Put it in the chat. We will take questions in the chat till we get callers or somebody wants to come in the room. If you want to come in the room, just say, I want to come in. And I usually can find you by your screen name. If not, I need your email that your YouTube account is under, and I send you the link to your YouTube. To your email that's linked with your YouTube account, and you just click it and you come right in the room. So if you want to come in the room, just say, I want to come in. Be easy if you just type your email address in. I usually could find you by your screen name, but if I can't, I'll let you know. I might need your email address. So if you want to come in the room, just type it at the bottom. All right. Go ahead, Raven. I'm gonna let you flow with the questions.
All right. Well, we have a question here by Yvette, and it is, what is your favorite path? And in your walk, was there a ritual that you did that did not work for you?
No. Every ritual I do show me something about myself that I need to work on. And that's pretty much what led me to this path, because like I said, when I woke up like maybe early 2001 or 2. So I've been on the path ever since. I just got here. This is where I'm at now. So no, it wasn't a certain path or anything. I don't like all that. I like to just be clear. I don't like being confused. I'm just on my path of self. Once I heard that one saying about know thyself, I've been there ever since. So because I really want to know who I am.
All right, we got a caller on the line.
So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna take this call, plug this call in, okay? Call, what's your name and where you calling from?
Kiana Carter in Los Angeles.
Kiana Carter out in LA. I'm glad your Lakers are suffering. No, let me stop. Go ahead.
It's bad.
I remember her.
What you got for Sister Bafa?
Hey, hi.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good.
Awesome to hear. There are 2 temples here in LA for Santa the Holiness, and I went to one on Sunday in Hollywood, and it was in Spanish. But we took communion the same way you would in church, and it was the best. It's the best experience ever. And I got a bracelet, and I walk around with me all the time. However, yesterday, your video on Cali,
yes,
I played that video, and after that, this strong energy came upon me to where like I've been snapping all day. And please help me figure out what happened because I'm lost in the sauce.
That's mama.
That's right. That's
mama.
Let me just say this real quick. Let me just say this real quick, then I'll let Bafa talk, and if Raven wants to add something, but in reference to what you just said, because again, not sure what was running through your mind, what you were thinking about or tapping into, but that Kali Durga path, that's what it brings up. Now, whatever emotions that you might have been tapping into or feeling, that's that warrior energy. It'll bring it out in you. And it's nothing to play with. And like I say, I myself personally, you know, when I work with it, I don't work for any of that superficial shit.
Right.
It's just like Bafa was saying, to me, this is always about change, growth, regeneration, and renewal. I think if you work with those things and that's your first intent, you know, like I was saying on the video the other night, all that stuff kind of falls, you know, into place. You understand what I'm saying?
So here's the gag. I wasn't trying to work with her. I was just trying to educate myself on her, but her energy, it's like I went into like a trance. It was so weird. I was sitting in front of Starbucks, using outside, and I would listen to the video, and the event was playing. It's like I went under. You know how like before the spirit mounts you?
Right. Well, I mean, you don't necessarily you don't necessarily have to be, you know, intently doing a work currently at the moment. You could just be tapping into the vibration and the energy.
She had on the bracelet.
Okay. So your thoughts on that? Bafa,
no, I'm saying, okay, so I said two different things. I went to the Holy Death Temple, but I'm saying the Kali is what overtook me because the Holy Death is powerful. But the Kali energy is what had me, like, I've been cutting people's head off all day long, verbally. Like, it's been zero tolerance. And I'm like, where did this come from? Like, I wasn't even trying to work with her. I was just listening to the video, and it's just like, man.
Well, they both pretty much work on the same current. So they both cut off heads.
But real quick, when you said you went to this Holy Death, I know out in LA it's big, and I don't know if it was. I'm sure there was probably a lot of Mexicans there. When you say it was,
yeah, it was
right.
Spanish.
Now I know they incorporate a lot of the, you know, Catholicism and, you know, Christianity in it. Well, I mean, they kind of change it. So what did they do? It was kind of like in a mass format. Did I hear you right?
It was weird because it was like a church setup. It was really small.
That's what he was saying.
And they were singing about Jesus. They were singing about Jesus. They were thanking God because God created the Holy Death. And I was confused because I was like, yo, like, I don't understand. And then they kept doing the cross. You know how the Catholics do the cross?
Yeah.
And then we took communion, and then they went and they bowed. Like she's everywhere. All the statues, they had all the archangels, like their pictures and their statues, and I was lost. And then one girl pulled her arm down, and he cut her with a sword, like a cross on her arm. And then he was spraying this other girl down, and it was in Spanish. I kept bothering this one girl to tell me what was he saying. And then we had to rub our hands together, like our hands were freezing cold, saying we were activating the energy. And I felt her, but at the same time, I was confused because I'm like, why are we doing church with the Holy Death? Like, I don't understand the connection.
Well, again, modern day practitioners, especially in the Mexican community, there's a lot of Catholicism integrated with it. So what you witnessed and what you saw a combination of some Catholic traditions and beliefs mixed in with some aspect of working with the Holy Death. So you're going to see that.
And they don't know about her. They don't know about her. Like somebody was saying, like, somebody would take her hands off of her statue. And I'm like, you never say they'll take her hand and say, if you give me this, I'll give you your hands back. But they don't understand. You take your hands off to dress her. You don't take her hands to say I'll give you that back while they don't know nothing about her. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, that's why you do your research. Now, I presented both aspects of it. I'm more focused on the ancient aspect. I did a while back the Aztec roots of the Holy Death, the mother. You know, when you come from that perspective, it kind of removes all that religion. Now, look, I'm not knocking anybody per se if that's what they do, because I know they're heavily influenced by Christianity and Catholicism. But I don't fuck with it like that, you know, on any level.
So you break it down to where it's baby food, to where I can understand it. So when I see different, then I'm able to differentiate the truth from a lie. And so for me, I was there, but I understood her energy. And her energy in that moment was present, but it wasn't as powerful as when I watched the Kali video yesterday. Then that took me under. I thought I was going to get mounted from the Starbucks.
That's because I'm trying to say, man, that shit ain't nothing to play with. But that's a good thing. But did you have any other questions for Bafa in particular?
Yes. So am I to make sacrifices to her daily? Because at this particular time, I'm going through a transition myself, and I don't use it like I'm a victim. You know, the decisions that I've made cause me to be in the predicament that I'm in. However, I'm using my predicament to grow and to understand what I'm supposed to learn, so that I can move on and better myself and help the next person. But I was told that I'm supposed to make sacrifices to her daily. Do you find that to be true?
No, I don't do that.
See, again, just that's that traditional bullshit. When you say, just so we're clear, so we understand, when you say sacrifices, what are we talking about? Spiritually?
Like someone said that you were supposed to, like, at her altar, like, put blood. Somebody said you give her blood. Like, somebody's a tattoo artist here in LA, and they take the blood from people's tattoos and they put it at the altar, and they say she works faster when she gives blood sacrifices. Someone else was saying.
Let me squash all that bullshit real quick. I wouldn't fuck with them. First and foremost, yes, there are intense paths that deal with that. I wouldn't fuck with that, because I'm gonna tell you why. You start feeding the spirits blood, then they're gonna request and demand it more of you. And you don't know, first and foremost, you don't know what aspect that they're invoking and why they're doing it, and that may not apply to you. So now there's different. You know, we've talked about that in the past many times. There's different paths with the Holy Death. Now, yes, blood is used as a powerful ritualistic tool, but I wouldn't be taking blood from other people's tattoos. Now you're presenting somebody else. And I've heard crazy stories about this. Matter of fact, in Tracy Rollins' book, The Holy Death, you might want to read that. She talks a little bit about that. I don't recommend it. And like Bafa said, she don't fuck with it. I wouldn't work with it on that level. Now, there's certain implements and offerings you could. Now, that's different, and not a sacrifice, because the thing is, when we're back to offering and sacrifice and feeding blood, it's just like in the voodoo. You have to be educated. I'm not saying that practice doesn't exist, and it does serve a purpose. But I would make sure, as the practitioner, you understand what you're doing and why you're doing it, because you might open yourself up to an energy that might want to require consistent blood feeding. And then how you're going to go about maintaining that if you don't really know, in detail what you're doing. But I'd be careful. I'd be careful with that.
Well, I know people calling in, so I don't want to hog the mic. But thank you all so much. I really love y'all for real in real life.
No, we appreciate your call. All right.
Thank you.
Doom, I see you in here. I'm gonna get to you in a sec.
Dooma.
Matter of fact, Doom, why don't you go ahead and unless somebody calls in, we'll pause and you can come back since you're in the room. All right, why don't you go ahead, brother? What you got?
What's up, Dooma?
Doom, I think you're muted, brother. Hold on.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, cool. I wanted to ask Bafa how she got started in her jewelry. Like, what was the inspiration of doing that? That's my question.
Yes, I know. It was
Call. Please hold and mute your phone, please.
Okay.
one, it was a little while ago when I actually started making the bracelets, but it was the skulls that I love, because I love dealing with the dark energies and the dead or whatever. So I just bought these skulls, and next thing you know, I was like, you know what, I need to utilize these skulls and make something. So dealing with the dark energies as well, it taps you and or helps you tap into your creativity. So for me, just loving these skulls and I don't know, I just love skeletons. I love science and stuff. So I'm drawn to that, which is the dark energy. So one day I just started making bracelets, and then I was like, you know what, shit, I can make some money, why not utilize this to keep focused. And, while I'm doing that, I can make money and focus on my business, create me a business for myself,
That's
so
right.
yeah, so that energy helps you to do that as well,
Right.
So,
And I know you do that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know you do that too, Duma. Huh?
Yeah, Duma does that too.
Hey, but Duma, hold tight right there. I'm gonna come back to you. Let me get this call I got on hold. Let's stay right there. We'll come right back to you.
Cool.
Caller, what's your name and where you calling from? Caller, you there?
Oh, I'm here. I'm sorry.
No problem. What's your name and where you calling from?
This is Kimberly calling from California.
Okay, Kimberly, how you doing? And what's your question this evening or comment?
I'm good. I just wanted to
Hey.
I'm listening. What's up, sis?
Hey, what's up? What's up, girl? Yes, that's my Facebook friend, Kimberly. Hey, girl. Thank you for calling in.
Yes, I just wanted to say that it was also when I first requested you as a friend, because it wasn't too many cousins that's really on this path that I could connect with. So I just wanted you to know that you definitely have had an influence on me, for real.
That's great. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, you be coming with it. I'm like, I love her. She
Thank you. I love you too, sis. And I'm glad you tapping into your dark current. You know what I'm saying? Because we need to. We need that energy, baby girl. We need that shit.
Right.
That's all we got. Yes.
I've been feeling it ever since I was little too. Growing up in the church, and I was always teetering on that dark
yes.
stuff, right? It was just always
yes.
there. So yeah. So I just wanted to let you know I was listening, and I love you, and you're awesome, and I love the show. Everybody, I love y'all. Peace and love.
Thank you, Kimberly. I love you too, sweetheart.
All right.
Yes.
We appreciate that. Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. There's
yes.
a lot of sister girlfriend stuff going on. All right. Go ahead, brother. We'll bring you back in until we get another call or somebody want to come in. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, that's really what I was asking, because I do the jewelry too, but I've gotten quite a number of pieces from Bafa myself. So they're really powerful pieces.
Thank you, Duma. You need to get something else now.
Hey, Duma, I gotta ask you, brother. You wearing the hat because it's opening day. Talk to me. What's going on?
Hey, man, I don't.
You're just wearing it.
I'm from DC.
I know you're from DC, but I'm just.
I don't really follow the team like that, bro.
Oh, okay. Today was opening day in Nationals Park. That's why I was just curious.
Yeah, I know. That's all I know.
That's it. It's cool. What else you got, Duma?
That's about it for right now.
All right. Well, you can hang tight. You can just mute your mic. You got something you want to add, and we'll come back to you. Mandy, I did send you the link. I don't know if you're still here. You left, but I did send you the link. I'll send it again. Raven, any questions in the chat? Let's go there until we get something.
Yo, I'm here.
Oh, where are you? See you in the room.
Hey, what's up? Where my back?
Hi, Mandy. Hi, sweetheart.
Hold on. Wait, Mandy, where? Oh, there you are. Okay, I'll see you.
What's up, Mandy?
Hey. Listen, I got all the darkness all set. Just yeah.
Mandy, what you got? Somebody call. Mandy, if somebody, just go ahead and go. But if somebody call in, I'll put you on pause. We'll go to them and come back. But go ahead.
Oh, nah. Listen, I want listen, Bafa, you are on fire and you are making an impact.
Girl, I told you I was coming out. I'm coming out. I'm tired of hiding. Okay.
Right. And listen, your tribe is supporting you, girl. Let's do
Yes.
this.
Thank you.
Got you.
Oh no, hey Duma, man, I think we need to exit, man. There's too much sister girlfriend stuff going on, brother. You know, I feel like we're about to start over here.
Raven.
I'm just kidding.
Where did Raven go?
Nah, but for real,
She's still here.
For real. Listen, Bafa,
I'm here.
Everything
I'm
you
here.
was touching on, everything you was touching on. Santísima Muerte, Kali.
Yes.
And as soon as you mentioned that pedophilia shit,
that's
you
right.
was like rocking back and forth. I was like, "Oh, my girl on fire! I'm gonna fight somebody." I can't stand you. I love you.
I'm just tired of them thinking they can just do anything to us, and we gonna go for it. Not over here.
Yeah,
no.
There's death to all pedophiles.
Every time we walk out them doors, we know we got like what
3,000
ancestors standing behind us, right?
That's right. Legions. We got legions behind us, honey.
And listen, thank you, Brother Beniti, for bringing us together.
Yes, thank you.
Offset,
yes.
Oh, there's so many more.
Ani, where is
the
Ani?
That you're bringing us together. We are supporting each other. We're making it happen. Now we got to work on that million man drumming, right?
Okay.
Hey, right? Let's change it. Waking the masses, man.
Well, we are. We are.
Hold on, Bafa, this for you.
Okay.
Definitely.
I love you, girl. No, I seriously love you. I do.
There's a lot of love.
I appreciate your love. Thank you. I need that.
Hold on, I gotta get on this. Duma, my brother, I love you, my brother.
I want some of that dark love. Give it up. Come on, Duma, give me some of that love.
Let me stop.
I just wanted to show support. I have so much to say, but I'm gonna let somebody that really needs some help come in and get advice.
Okay.
All right, cool.
I ain't mean it like that, but
no,
right.
Love y'all.
No, bye.
Raven, we got any questions in the chat?
Yes, babe.
Hold on, we got a call.
Love you.
All right, peace.
Love you too.
Caller, what's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, this is Jeremy calling from Texas.
Jeremy from Texas. Yeah, Jeremy be sounding all smooth, don't he? Yeah, it's Jeremy.
Love his voice. What you got to say, boo boo?
Texas. What up, brother? Talk to us. Yo, I'm in the clown. There's a clowning spirit in the room, so I'm in a clown ass mood right now. But go ahead, Jeremy from Texas.
I feel you, man. I'm feeling old.
Go ahead,
man.
Go ahead, Playboy.
Big props to Bafa Marga for coming on tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for calling in.
Yes, definitely. I really feel you on a lot of things that you're saying. I can really feel you and identify with what you're saying.
Okay.
And I just want to commend you, for just being courageous. And
thank you. I love that. Thank you. I love that. We need that,
Yeah, that inspires me, anytime. So I want to say I appreciate that. And something was on my mind. I listened to the radio show from the class from Tuesday, the Kali and the Transformation. And I've been doing the mantra, and I had listened to it. I listened to it at work. And man, I had wanted to share that with what I had did. I just kind of changed. I threw a wrench in my daily routine Tuesday, and I just kind of took a different way from work. Okay. I went to this this real high overlook and kind of just was in nature for a little bit. But I really wanted to share that since I started doing some of the Kali mantras, the changes that I'm seeing that I can honestly identify and say that it'll shake up everything because it's like the change you need, and it's like destroying before you can destroying all of that bull, you know what I'm saying? So you can go on and get right and bringing that stuff to the surface that you don't really know about, because focusing on the shadow work a lot too, you know, lately.
Yes.
And that's what I wanted to say, man, that it's that I'm getting results. And that college, what I did is revisited some of the talks and the shows that you done Benita here lately on the college and the college Durga and the ultimate transformation. And yeah, I can really dig it. I understand too what you said about how a lot of people may come on to a path and then they want to just jump right into all of the material.
Right. That's where they mess up at. It ain't about that, boo boo. We got work. We got work to do, you know, on ourselves, and you know, trying to get more material shit. Really, I don't need no more material shit. I got enough of that shit. I need some clarity. I need some healing. You know what I'm saying? I need some real love, some real, you know, honesty. Niggas lying and shit. I'm tired of hearing lies and niggas pretending to be this and be that. I don't care. What are you doing on this path? If you're not on this path to do the work that you came here to do, you need to get off this path. You know, you don't stop pretending like you're on the path of yourself, and you're not, because you don't even know yourself. You have to know yourself even to know this path. First off, that's what this path teaches us. Well, at least that's what it teaches me. You know, shit.
Now, I feel that, and I feel the same way. Like what really is taking like my path and like my working and my spiritual work and it was when I came into this show like 2 years ago. And, something I wanted to point out, because it even though, you know, I got much props and respect for you, Benita, you know what I'm saying, and the old Awakening Universal Mind show, you know, and everybody that come on and show their input, listening to it, you know, I really digested and got understanding too. What helped me, like where you don't be on that Messiah complex, you know, where you're not looking like you're not actually crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like I appreciate it. But what I understood is that you didn't change it, but you did what you did, the work you put in and showed, you know, sure, that inspired something inside of me to begin, you know, making this change. And yeah, man, just the, you know, the different shows, man, they really have helped, man. So I just want to shout out on that. And you know, in the college, man, and I'm gonna keep on doing it. And I haven't done the college rituals yet. I got Baal Moon book, and what I'm doing right now is just continuing to educate myself on it, and I'm keeping my intention. You know what I'm saying? Getting ready to do the ritual. What I'm doing is fueling my intention and really just preparing for the ritual. So
let me say this real quick on that, Wacky J. Well, first of all, I said earlier, I'm not sure if he's still in there. I believe he is. Baal Cabinet is actually in the room tonight.
Oh, hi, Belle.
So I want to give a shout out to him because I know he's been an influence on many people here in the room. He's actually been an influence on me.
Me too.
I read and study a lot of his books. And he's another one, somebody I used the term, the sister that called in, Kiana, he makes it simple. And I'm about less is more. I ain't with all that complicated shit sometimes. I'm not saying that it's not necessary. So anyway, I just want to put that out there. But you said something that kind of struck a chord, you know, Wacky J. And if you go back to any of the old shows, not just the radio show, even the old channel here, I've always said from day one, I ain't trying to recruit people for no shit.
Right.
You know, I'm not trying to get you to join or sign up for anything, because that's the problem. People got agendas and all those other platforms, you know, all them other conscious groups. There's always the, you know, there's the leader and, you know, fuck all that. And that's one thing that was a motivational factor in doing this, because I got tired of all that bullshit. And, you know, always being ostracized for speaking your mind. And that's why this path isn't for everybody. And the Kali, you know, you speak of the Kali rituals and the Kali energy, just like Kiana that called in. Look, man, you could just be sitting there thinking about something, reading a book, listening to a Kali drumming or mantra, and you could get locked in that energy. But hey, but I'm gonna take this next call, Wacky J. All right, brother?
Yeah, absolutely.
Peace. Caller, what's your name and where you calling from?
Liz from Salt Lake.
Salt Lake. You must be one of my 3 listeners in Salt Lake. No, let me stop. I'm messing in with you. What you got?
So I had a question about, so I have, I do work with the darker aspects of the feminine, so the dark goddess, a lot. But I was wondering, because sometimes I feel so unbalanced, like when I am masculine, if I observe the masculine energy, I feel like I get over aggressive. But then when I'm more in tune with the feminine, I feel like I'm too soft and too much of a pushover. And I'm really trying to find the balance between both, because I've gone through a lot of struggles in my life, like most people have, and I don't want to, back down when I need to defend myself. But I also don't want to be aggressive, over aggressive. So I'm not really sure what the best balance is on. So I was wondering what your opinions are on that.
Go ahead, Bafa, your thoughts on that?
I think that, okay, if you're feeling imbalanced, you have to probably think about changing your diet, doing some spiritual baths, doing some detoxing. That's what I do when I feel imbalanced. Maybe you're you probably overdoing something, like overeating, over drinking, over something, if you're imbalanced. And if you take baths, like spiritual baths, that'll help to, balance you. And you can also say little things to yourself, like, you want to be, cleansed, balanced. You need balance in your life. That's what I have to do, because regardless of what this work is about, bringing, yourself to a balance, but balancing your equilibrium. We need to be balanced in our minds. The subconscious is, it needs to be cleansed. We have to cleanse, like, all of these different things that we deal with on a daily. So you have to put in work to get balance. You have to take these energies, your energy that you're working with, your own energy, basically. But you have to start having positive, I don't even like to use positive and negative, but you're going to have to start, knowing when to be pretty much aggressive and when not to be aggressive. And a lot of times the feminine side of the energy is aggressive. It just depends on the situation, what's going on with you. You know what I'm saying? But you really want to start, if you want to tap into yourself more, you have to get into, utilizing things to help, balance you. You got to get your chakras together. You probably got a lot of stuff going on in your root chakra, and your sacral chakra. So we have to, start focusing our, our minds on getting our energy together, So if you're having problems, with that, you got to just work on the energies and try to bring them together to, what I mean, like, you got to come to some sort of, I don't know, with yourself. You got to, like, ask yourself what's going on. Why are you being too overly aggressive? See, and with me, when I start noticing things that I'm doing too much of, I question myself about that. And then I get to, I get my focused on, my center and my, on myself, so I can find out what's going on and work with it. And that's what you are tapping into these energies for, to, help, cleanse them and purify them, heal yourself in these areas that you're having problems, in, just like me, I'm a little over aggressive sometimes, but I have to work on that. But what I mean over aggressive, I just mean, like, it just depends on the situation. It just depends what it is, so. And then don't be too hard on yourself. Just try to identify with that and just try to, tap into, natural things to kind of help balance you out. You know what I'm saying? Like, watch your diet, watch, just the intake of, alcohols and different things that you're doing, the people you're hanging around. A lot of times you get mad because somebody else mad, because they energy rubbing off on you. So that's why you got to really cleanse your energies and be mindful of your energies and be mindful of your mind, because you are these energies and you are your mind. You are everything. So whatever is going on with you, you have to, figure out what it is and fix that. And not only do you want balance, you want harmony. When I walk out my door, I'm in harmony. I don't have no issues out here. I don't have no problems with anybody, because I get my balance together before I even walk out my door. Because I know what I'm out here. I know what I'm up against when I go out this door. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to get rubbed the wrong way and snap. So you have to be in control. You got to have some, control over your energy,
Let me ask you something real quick, sis. What are you gauging that, like, you use the term, I'm just curious. I want to, and again, I want to make sure I heard you right. If I'm wrong, please correct me. You explain that sometimes when you feel like you're feeling the female or the feminine aspect, you feel like sometimes it could be too soft or weak, or the overly aggressiveness of the masculine energy. Is that what you said? I just want to make sure I heard you.
Well, I know the female can be both aggressive and soft, but basically, like, it's almost, I'm trying to find the balance, because I've been, like I said, had trauma in my life where I've been too much of a pushover and too soft, and too extreme on both sides, too aggressive or too soft.
Right, but here, because there's two things. One, I already know this, and you probably got a history of this. Your throat chakra, you have a hard time expressing yourself.
That's like me.
Okay. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm not talking about now. I understand what you're saying. Why I'm asking you these questions is you're creating this illusionary gauge that you're comparing it to. It's really you. You're comparing it to your personal issues. The throat chakra deals with expression. So what I'm about to say, you're gonna know what it's in reference to.
Yeah.
You've got to be with you yourself. You can't give two shits about what people think. You got to speak your mind. You can't.
Yeah.
When you're in certain platforms, I'm not talking about here. I'm talking about in life in general. When you're in certain problem that you've done all your life is you don't really express yourself. You hold back. Do you understand what I'm telling you?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is what's creating those illusionary things. What you're feeling is your insecurities and weaknesses within yourself. That's what you're comparing it to.
Yes.
So, but Bafa said something that's true. The over-aggression, anger and rage and hatred and jealousy can be productive if facilitated the right way, not where it's consuming and it overtakes you. Like, to be angry over stupid shit,
right,
that can consume you. But to be angry and hate, I always use the simple analogy, it's okay to hate a toothache. Nobody likes a fucking toothache, right? That's a form of hate, but it's a form of hate in a productive way. So what I'm saying is, when you learn to facilitate the energy, like Bafa was saying, they serve a purpose. You just got to know when and how to use them. That's part of being an adept or a black magician, because I'm saying this to tell you, we on this path, we don't look at really per se anything in the light of good or bad. That's perception. And what I'm trying to tell you is, you're tapping in that those certain insecurities you have are creating that illusionary perception. That's all.
Right.
But do some work with your throat chakra. Trust me, and a lot of that stuff, will definitely dissipate. But I understand what you're saying. But what I'm trying to tell you, that's coming from, really, it's coming from within. It's just lack of, hopefully that makes sense to you.
Yeah.
All right.
Do some cleansing too. Yeah, that'll help too.
Do you have any other questions?
No, I think that's it. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. All right. Any questions in the chat? Raven,
sweet.
Raven, you still there?
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm still here. I was just
Any questions?
I was just switching back and forth. I was just don't be laughing at me, Bob. I was just switching back and forth. Oh,
Now, again, what Bafa was saying and what I was just saying. One thing we need to really get out of our mind is this false concept of, I know it's something we feel and we perceive, but this right or wrong, good or bad thing, it's a matter of perception. We have to understand that, because I think, and not just I'm not just talking anymore about the caller that just called in. I'm just saying that question and what we were just discussing. This is something I tell people all the time. You're not going to really understand this path if you're still gauging things, by right or wrong, because that's personal.
Right.
Now, it's just a matter of how you, absorb and perceive the energies. I don't look at anything as being good or bad, right or wrong.
Right.
It's only you perceive them that way based on, where you're at on this path. And
Yeah.
That's it. So important. Well, what do we got in the chat?
okay. Yeah. When she was talking as well, I was saying, yeah, that's throat chakra. I felt it too, and it was all that self-doubt, because that bouncing back and forth, that's doubt. I can understand it. I just understood her because been there. The question in the chat, let's see. The next one was created in darkness. This is actually a question for you, Brother Beniti. So let me scroll down. You want me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, it is. I guess this is in regards to when Bafa was talking about, she don't want to come back here. So the question was, Brother Beniti, isn't the end game to never come back here? We strive. Well, that was the question. Right. And then the comment behind it was, we strive to master ourselves, but there is obviously more to this human experience. And they was just stating that they've been here too many times. But the question was, isn't that the end game to never come back here?
Well, let me say this. There's to get the answers to those questions, you can read all the books in the world. Not going to give you that answer. Now, I can only address that from personal experience, but that's my personal experience. Yes, we've been here many times. It's definitely not our first incarnation. We wouldn't even be here on this platform having these conversations if we all wasn't trying to seek answers to those questions. I think we're all intrigued and really want to understand our purpose and our existence, how we got here, why we're here, how many times we've been here, and we know on this path there's no such thing as an end. That's religious, beginning or end. But I understand the question. I know he wasn't phrasing it like that. But you really have to do your own personal internal work to get those answers as far as past life, past existences. Because I could sit here and ramble on about that forever, but it would just be my opinion, or it would be my experience. Now, I know the question, based on the way the person worded the question, obviously they've had some experience with it. So it's a reality to them. But now I'm speaking abroad to everybody listening. From my experience, that stuff is real. But I would challenge you. You can do it, via, meditation, hypnosis. There's many methods to come to the conclusions that, and just through your personal work, you will understand. This is definitely not your first time here. There's many theories out here. We could be all night talking about it. Some say we are those fallen angels that fell from the sky in a lot of those mythological stories. Right. And that's how we got here. We are the giants in the earth, right? When it mentions that in Genesis 6, verse 4. Can we factually 100% prove that? No. But there are a lot of concepts out there that show, that we've been here, and it's not our first time here. Because think about it. Ask yourself this: did you voluntarily want to come here, knowing what this shit is now? Ask yourself that question. Number one. I don't answer it. I don't want the answer to it. It's personal work. Everybody has a purpose. Everybody is here for a reason. But don't gauge that shit to somebody else's experience or what you've read somewhere, because then you're taking away the answer that you're seeking to find. But yes, to the person's question, that is one of the goals, of the many goals on this path. But step one, to open yourself up and get those type of answers. You got all the stuff that we're talking about tonight, what Bafa's talking about. It's about doing what we call that shadow work, that self-work. You got to clear out all the bullshit first to be open and receptive to getting those answers. You know, chakra work. She mentioned chakra work, right? Chakra work is integral on this path. And one thing I see the big mistake, there's a lot of space cadets out here. Everybody thinks their pineal and their third eye is vibrating in their crown chakra. You know, and like Bafa said, you ain't grounded in your root chakra or your sacral chakra. Or understand, there's something in Eastern mysticism called divine ishq, ISHQ. It's called divine love, right? That's something on this path we strive for. Not, let me make this clear, not love of a car, not love of a person, not love of a piece of jewelry, not love of your kids or your husband or your wife. That's physical illusionary love. So divine ishq is the love and appreciation of understanding creation, walking outside every morning and seeing this. I know it might sound a little fluffy, but it's not. Understand, looking at the sun and just appreciating existence. It starts there because it goes deeper. That's what takes you back into the primordial chaos and the darkness. And that's why I like to play Stepperwatt's little video in the beginning, because I know it sounds and looks cool, but I hope people are listening to the words, because that's coming from the mind of that particular individual. That's his darkness that he's tapping into. And it's a beautiful thing. What's the most powerful things? And I got out from
dark gods. Yes.
4 words. Embrace me and live. See, when you really understand what divine ishq is, right? It's just the Eastern mysticism term. You get those answers. See, we got to strip away all the illusionary shit, because that's the problem. We kind of mix the two, and we kind of get a little bit confused. But yeah, I mean, that's the best thing I could tell you in regards to that. I don't know if there's something you want to add to it, Bafa, or anybody.
Well, for me, the end game is like you were saying about the delusions. We have to end that. That's the end game, because the energy never dies. We are the energy, or you should see yourself as that. Because I see myself as raw, pure, chaotic energy. So I work with that to help myself change my, fucked up reality. And that's what we all should be striving for, to change that reality that we all have in ourselves. And the end game is put an end to that shit.
That's true.
And create a new reality for yourself, because we're never ending. It just means get in this bullshit that's going on within your own minds. Let's end that shit. Then we can get somewhere.
I agree. Hey, if she wants to come in, she don't have to. I know Priestess Asset is in here. I'm gonna send her.
Hey, Asset. Priestess, hi, Priestess Asset.
Asset, I'll just send you the link if you want to come in, if you're not busy. I just sent the link to your Tiamat email. If you want to come in, feel free. I don't know if you're busy or if you're able to, but if you want to come in, I just sent the link to your email. We'd love to have you pop in if you could.
Exactly, Mama. Hey, I learn a lot from y'all. So hey, whatever. But I take what I'm learning and I utilize it. Okay.
But here's the thing. One thing that I do, and I say this, I don't think people get it. When you know you're really locked in on this path, I learn from you. When I'm teaching, I learn from you guys. I'm listening to myself, but I'm also learning simultaneously. That's a skill that you really want to master, because when you can listen to yourself while listening to others, I can't even tell you the power of that. I know it might sound a little jargony, but I can't even tell you the power of that shit. So we all learn from each other. And like you said earlier, Bafa, we're all students in the sense that we're always eager to learn, and I know I am. I always learn something. All right, but while we're waiting for any call or anybody else, again, if you want to call, 561-962-1137. That's if you want to call in by phone. If you want to come in live to the chat, hold on. I'll send you the link. Did I miss anybody that wanted the link? Hold on. Oh, no. Okay. I don't see anybody. If you want to come in, I'll send you the link. Just type in the chat. Again, Priestess, Asit, Ra'aman, if you are listening, I did email you the link. If you want to pop in, if you're able to, feel free. Somebody calling in. Hold on. That is. Caller, what's your name and where you calling from?
Blair in the state of Washington.
State of Washington, out west. What's
I
going
didn't
on?
say Washington because everybody's like, oh, DC.
No, I know. We said state. I knew exactly what you were talking about. But go ahead. What you got for us?
So I'm super new to this path, the craft, all of that, and I'm still working on knowing myself. And I guess I just want to know, how do I go about like finding all of these things that are in my how do I say that, in my what is it, subconscious?
Mm-hmm.
How do I uproot all of that so that I can find exactly what I'm supposed to be doing and go from there to...
Well, shadow work. Shadow, it always starts with that's a term we use on this path. First, you must, and Bafa shared too from your experience. First, you want to identify all the, the good and bad things about yourself. Like you always hear us talking about, everybody's quick to pat themselves on the back about their strengths. Like you could probably rattle off a million strengths to us, like things that you're good at, you're skilled. But step one is being real with yourself. What's fucked up about yourself? I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. I'm not asking you that to announce it now. I'm just saying,
right.
Like you got to be real with yourself. And what I'm saying is, it could be, maybe you're not. I'm just speaking in general now, not to you. Maybe you're not a great parent. Maybe you're a shitty communicator. Maybe you got a horrible temper. Maybe you can't control your jealousy, your rage. Maybe you have certain addictions you can't control. Maybe you have sex issues. I'm just saying, because what that basically does, that directs you in the path of the work you need to do, because that's how you identify what type of ritualistic work, what you're describing, because you want to do work in areas to improve your life. You understand? Yeah. Now, there's regular works to obtain power and knowledge. That's something you do consistently. That's not that to me, in my opinion, that's not the hard part. Right. So you're asking where to start. Bafa, maybe you can interject, and I can throw some books at you. You might want to.
Yeah, throw some books at her, and I'm gonna let her know, like, yes, and it's good that you are, on the path of, self and wanting to improve yourself. That's a good thing. Trust me, because it starts there. But you definitely want to get books, get things that's gonna help you understand your mind. They have books on the subconscious. All you got to do is just Google that stuff. I like to put people to work. I don't like to work for other people. I like for them to do their own work like I had to do. Because trust me, I've self-taught myself all of this stuff that I know by just doing the research, just being hungry for, information that's going to help me, and listening to other people like Beniti, Raven, Ani, Priestess, I said, Brother Panic. I mean, it's a lot of people that, you can, listen to get good advice from, to help you on your path that's speaking about your subconscious mind, because that's what this show is about. Basically, you are the chaos. That's why we call this show Primordial Chaos, because that's what we are working with. We're working with that energy, that primal energy in yourself that you have to tap into to get to know. That's your dark guide. You are your dark guide. You are all the other dark guides as well. But just get a hold to the things that you are you are attracted to, or that you cling to, that you like, and just get to know it. Just get to know what it is. And another thing, we have to let fear go. We have a lot of fear. I know I've had a lot of fear, trust me. And I'm still working on getting a lot of fear out of my subconscious. I don't want to be fearful of anything. Why? It's no need to be in fear, of yourself. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, do that work on yourself, and you will see you things around you are going to change. Trust me.
And let me throw this at you
Can
real
I add
quick.
something to that before you add the books?
Yeah. Go ahead. And
before
then
you add the book.
Priestess is here. I'm gonna go to her next. But go ahead. Yeah.
Oh no, she's here.
No. Go ahead. She's here. We'll get to her. Go ahead. If you get, I don't want to cut you off. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I was going to say, I'm glad that's where she wants to figure out where to start, and so that's awesome. Just that statement alone was just a great statement.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say everything was was said was on point. In addition to that, I just want to add some in additions, and that is to just stay grounded. Make sure you're grounded. Make sure you do some chakra work in the midst of that, because that too will help get you to figuring out what you need to do, or what work that's more pressed than other works that may be just as Brother Benita was stating, maybe it's trauma, maybe it's you need to work on your attitude, maybe it's something else. So that'll help lead you as well as to figuring out what you need to do on the path, or what direction you need to go.
Right.
Okay. And let me just throw this at you real quick, and then we'll let you go. Have you ever read the Kabbalion, the 7 Hermetic Principles of Tahuti? Are you familiar with it?
So I've heard about the Kabbalah through.
No. Stop. Not the Kabbalah. That's good too. The Kabbalion. I know people confuse it. The KYB.
I didn't hear you. How spell that, please?
It's KYBALLION. But look for a book called The Kabbalion by the 3 Initiates. That's a good place to start. Also, the brother and we have a brother in the room right now, a teacher and an author, Bal Cadman. If you're not familiar with him, BAAL and last name Cadman, KADMON. All you gotta do is go on Amazon. He's got books also on all those topics. They're very easy to follow. His last book's a little bit more intricate in detail, but any of his works, I think, as I've said many times on the show over the years, he has a unique way of making it very easy and simple. And I think also it's a good place for somebody like you also to start. And I would check out Dr. Edward Bruce Bynum's Dark Light Consciousness. All right.
Yes.
Light Consciousness?
Dark Light Consciousness by Dr. Edward Bruce Bynum. That's another good place to kind of start.
Dark guides.
All right, so hopefully that helps you, caller.
Yes, thanks for calling in too.
All right. Priestess, what's up?
How you
doing?
What's going on? How you doing?
Hi, Mama. Hi, pretty lady.
How you
I don't know where you're at. You look like you're in a vortex. You look like you're in a vortex.
Oh, yeah, we're in a vortex tonight. One of your sisters just sent me the link when I was on Facebook.
Really?
I just came in a little while ago, and she sent me the link, and I was like, okay.
All right, that's what's up.
Yeah, man. Enjoying the show.
How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fine, doing great.
That's
I'm really enjoying the show. You giving the young ladies some good advice. And I especially loved what the brother said when the sister from California called in with that blood on Kali Ma altar. No.
We'll do it.
It's so much suffering out here, man. I mean, it's like, I don't know who are these people that are doing these kinds of ritual. Now, don't get me wrong. Blood sacrifice does play a part in certain rituals. Because I know I've used my period blood in blood sacrifice.
Oh, why she had to come over and say that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because you can do that. And for the ladies that are listening that still have their menses, you can wring your pad out or your tampon, put a little bit of water in it, and just go put it in the earth.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And you can even throw some crystals on top of that, and that is considered your own blood sacrifice of using your own essence.
Yes.
So, and even though
I anointed this with mine.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And for the men, don't feel left out. You can put your semen in the earth too if you're into that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, and even though I work with demons, I've never given my demons my blood. I just don't feel entities that are so highly evolved out of flesh need blood, because when you're doing that, like you're giving your personal blood, not your menses, like doing lancet and taking the blood from your finger or your arms or whatever. You can potentially, if you don't know what you're doing, pull something else. You know, open
hey y'all, what's up? Y'all seeing my real hair tonight, y'all?
Cute.
I took my wig off. See, look, I took it off. I took my wig off, y'all.
But go ahead.
Sorry about that.
It's just, you know, opening the door to something else, because we have so many entities on this planet. You know what I'm saying? And we have, like, in tranquil spirits, we got the spirits of the Ajogun, which are spirits of misfortune, death, the Abiku, all kinds of stuff. You know, and you could potentially open the door for something else to come in and mimic itself as a demon. Because even when I was in Palo, I never sacrificed chickens and goats, because honestly, I got more results using fruits. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
I got more results using fruits and things like that. I didn't see the need to sacrifice a chicken, because that's really not of the goddess, because really that comes from patriarchy that didn't have a period blood, and they needed that blood sacrifice. You know, people ain't gonna want to hear that, you know, because they love cutting up them chickens. You know what I'm saying?
And let me add to that real quick.
Feeding to that coagulated man, the coagulated man. That's what blood is.
Yes, to what you're saying, that's one of the reasons why I left that stuff. Exactly what you're saying, Priestess. I'm not gonna lie, I've sacrificed a number of chickens and all types of shit. And I just felt it got to a point where I just felt like it didn't, what you're saying, I just didn't see the need for it. I mean, I know it serves a purpose. I know, like you just described, the blood,
like that.
But I did the same thing, lesser offerings and rituals that didn't even involve it, in my opinion, were more powerful and got greater results. Now, again, I'm not downplaying it. That's part of the system. It's part of the culture. So I get it. I understand it. But I just felt like I got to a point, like you just said, I need that shit no more. So I left it alone.
Exactly.
So, some of the things that people got to understand is that magic evolves. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's from the past. And you can never stay stagnant in your magical path, because even beyond this, there is the high magic that is evolved beyond deity, demons, ancestors, all of that, because all of that is within you. You know, so you always have to be evolving. And I just think that was something of the past when, you know, patriarchy took over. And listen, it's okay. Whoever, you know, is still at that point. But I just even feel like us here in the diaspora, you know, where the hell you going to get a goat? You know?
Okay. Can I chime in on the blood sacrifice thing?
Yes.
Well, you know, I do primarily a lot of, you know, EFI work, but I haven't done a sacrifice in probably about 7 years. But it's at the point now where I've developed a relationship with deity within myself, so that I harness that. They don't need that from me anymore. Of course, divination, you know, supplies me with that information to where I need to find out if blood is required. But most of the time now, it's not. I mean, honestly, I'm not even fronting. I think that that's a good idea. I was thinking that, let me go get me a little candle. I want to do that too.
Okay, girl.
We working it. But what I was saying is I think at this point, the Orishas, to me, they're fucking tired, okay? And I'm going to say that because they have been so overused and so abused that they literally just do some. I mean, I don't think they stopped working. I think they're just a little tired because
they just need some new shit.
Oh, absolutely.
And see what it is. It's not. They're tired. It's not even that they're tired. What it is, like you said, the energy has been so abused, and it's been so overused. You know, I remember when I was going to go to Nigeria and get initiated, and my ancestors rolled up on me, and they was like, "You will not step foot on that continent." For real, they said it with such contempt that I had to go back in the Akashic records and see, well, then what kind of beef y'all got? and I saw my mother's bloodline, you know, like her family, you know, they was beating up her peoples, and, you know, having them tied up and selling them. You know what I'm saying? And then on the boat leaving Africa, like literally screaming and crying. So even till today, my ancestors still feel some type of way. You know what I'm saying? Right. I had to honor that, because the groups that I used to be with back in 2005 and 2004, it's so much fuckery that went down with them. People that went insane, people that died, people that lost their house, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
so what my ancestors was keeping me from. Plus, they already know I was a renegade anyway. I ain't gonna bow to nobody. Okay. I'm not pushing nobody's feet. I'm not bowing to shit. You can't tell me I can't work with the J. You can't tell me I can't the fairy shells when Oshun roll up on me to teach me her goddamn shells. So we're not having that. And you know, it was just too much. So, you know, and you know us dark goddess, we gotta forge our own path anyway.
That's right. That's right. Shit. We need each other.
Right. That's a fact. That's a fact right there.
Fuck that. Right, so let's see if we got any more questions in the chat. Since Raven, any other questions you see there? Because I don't even know where we at there.
I know, Brother Beniti. I know you can't recognize me right now, but this is
What's real. Up, Ani? Ani, you look so cute. Hey, Mama, you look cute too. Girl, we some bad dark goddesses. Fuck that.
But what y'all seeing right now is the real. This goes to show you fearless when you take that wig off. Take the wig off. Take the bullshit out of your life. Real. You know what I'm saying? Real. People gotta get with
me. Hell no. Shit.
Raven, you got any other questions you see? Because I don't even know where we at, to be honest with you.
I don't either.
No other.
There's nothing in there?
I have a question for Bafa.
No.
Go ahead.
Okay, Bafa, what I want to know is that, you know, I've been following your Instagram, and I see that you work a lot. Oh, my daughter Amber said, tell everybody, hey, y'all.
Hi.
Yeah, she's not here. She's out somewhere with her friends, but I told her I was in the chat, and she was like, "Ooh, what y'all doing?" You know, she a little witchy too, so you know how that go. But the question I have for you, Bafa, is what is it that you do for yourself that you find to be able to give to other people that makes it like a universal type of energy? I want you to answer that too, Brother Beniti, because, you know, ever since I had that one reading with you, Brother B, you know, things have really changed for me. Like, I literally threw something out that was like a sacrifice for the spirits. And the person or the target literally walked past where I threw the shit away within 6 hours. I couldn't believe it. I mean, that has happened in the past, but I was just learning, and I'm just trying to figure out between you and Bafa and Priestess, I want to get everybody's opinion. How do you understand those feelings when you see your magic in front of your damn face? I mean, sometimes it's hard to channel it because the shit is just so overwhelming. I just laughed. You know, I thought it was completely I just couldn't believe it to see the person who was like, oh, damn, if they knew what was in this bag, yo, they would be like, oh, my God, get up. You know what I'm saying?
Now, you want to go first? Well, let me get mine out the way since all these females in here. I'll let you guys talk because all I can say is this. One, everybody's path is unique. We have to understand that. Everybody has their own experiences. That's important to understand. The beauty of it and how I deal with it, like you're describing, there's a responsibility that comes with this. Don't let nobody fool you. There's work and responsibility that comes with this. And I know you know that. I'm just speaking in general. I mean, there's moments where some of the experiences are very joyful. You know, it's very gratifying. There's some painful stuff when you conjure up. You know, you go through an influx of emotions, happiness, sadness, joy. If you work with necromancy and the spirits of the dead, like I do, it could be, you know, you conjure up relatives, like, you know, losing my father last January. You know, there's a strong connection and work there. My mother passed away in '96, and constantly working with that aspect, you know, brings on a whole influx of experience. I don't know, somebody got a device on in the background or something. I'm hearing a lot of
that too.
so you might want to mute the mic. I don't know who that is.
It's not me.
Sure, that you, Brother Benita. You got all that stuff around.
No. I don't know. But no, I'm just all simply what I'm trying to say is it's just basically it can be it's rewarding. It's a lot of work. There's periods. Look, I'm not going to lie to you. Which sometimes it's overwhelming, and I tried years ago. Sometimes, look, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Sometimes you just want to put it all down and turn the other way. But I know I could never do that because every time that thought even crossed my mind, a reality check kicks in. So I don't want to paint it as easy. It's a responsibility. When you connect with this energy, it's work. But in the long run, I wouldn't change it for anything because once you are tapped in and you're linked in and you have the experiences like you're describing, Oni, I mean, really, after doing this, what do you go back to? Think about that for a second. What do you really?
Yeah, that's what I kept saying, because when I went and threw what I threw away, then to know what the purpose of the sacrifice or ebo was, and to see the person like it being right, I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God. I came back in the house. I was just like staring in space for like 10 minutes. That shit was deep, yo. That was some deep stuff right there.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's go to Priestess and Bafa. Priestess, your thoughts on Oni's question. I'm going to step away for 1 quick minute. But go ahead, Priestess.
Yeah, well, ultimately, you know, to see my magic like manifested is really to learn how to deal with the mundane. Like Bafa, you were talking about earlier, you had a lot of trauma, and so did I, you know? I was able to resolve a lot of my trauma through my magic. And see, one of the things is when people, and I've mentored to hundreds of women. I mean, oh my goodness, I can't. I'm at a, you know, even my channel, you know, so many women come across and they're like, oh, I want you to be my spiritual mother. I'm really not.
Oh, wow. I get that all the time. I'm like, damn.
Yes.
I don't understand.
Yeah, y'all my spiritual mama now, shit.
I don't understand. We're in the age where you got to cultivate your inner spiritual teacher, because we can give you something, but ultimately it's up to you to do the bulk of the work.
Yeah,
I share that. Yeah, I share. That's right. I share.
You know, people, when they come across our path, they want to become codependent. You know, I had one brother I did a reading for. He came to me for one motherfucking reading. And after that, he just thought he had his own personal psychic witch.
Rolling on the phone.
I mean, literally on a Sunday, this brother's calling me like 5 times in one day. Like, I'm with my family. And finally, you know, he caught me at the right time when I guess the moon was in Aries and some other shit. And I was like, let me tell you something. You are disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? I am not your personal psychic on call, because ultimately it's about leading them back to themselves. This is why I stress to people, know yourself. Go learn your astrology and your numerology. Yes. You don't need to do that too, Mama. Basic, because tell you about yourself. Take the time to read it. Take the time to study it. Anything you don't understand, Google that shit.
Okay.
I've been working on that that hermetic and the esoteric that you told me about, and it's a little hard to understand because of the language, but I'm working on it. I'm getting it together. It's going to be a slow process, I can tell you that. The Tahuti stuff is pretty good. That's pretty interesting. But go ahead, Bafa. I can't wait to hear how y'all spread y'all magic universally and how it works, you know, across the board for people.
Right. Well, for me, I like to just let people know how it is, because people actually don't want to hear the truth about their fucked up shit. Okay. So that's the problem. And the thing about it, when you work your magic, you got to work your magic for not just yourself, but you're in a sense universally working it for them too. You know, because you are everything. I consider myself to be the all. You know, everything. I don't care, you know, the fucked up niggas out here. Yeah, that's me too. But I have to, face that shit, and I have to embrace that shit. But what I do is when I embrace shit like that, I just suck that power back into myself and utilize it to help me heal and grow. And I also like to utilize it to verbally speak my mind to let people know, look, we're tired of this. Aren't you all tired of this bullshit? I'm tired of that. That's why I'm here where I'm at. That's why I'm on this platform tonight, because I'm tired of a lot of bullshit. I've been through a lot. You know what I'm saying? Not saying, because everybody's shit is different, but you got it. You know what I'm saying? And if you have it, you need to be about the business of taking care of that shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? By all means necessary, especially utilizing your energy to change and transform this shit.
Right. And see another piece of it, what people don't get, because they've watched so many shows like Charmed, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and they think
the Google witches, all of that shit. And they Google one spell and they be like, oh,
they think it's an overnight process. It's not. It's like when you do the tarot cards, when you look at the Fool, he dealing with the energy of Uranus. And the Fool goes through from the High Priestess all the way to the World card. These are lessons that he is learning on this journey. You know what I'm saying? And then after you finish the major arcana, you go into minor arcana. Now let's take the Eight of Pentacles. This is about mastering your skill, mastering your craft. See what it is? A lot of people come on this path and they looking to get all this withdrawal, these spiritual withdrawal. They want all of this, but they ain't put no spiritual deposits. They ain't did no rituals. They have not cleaned their chakra. They have not prayed. They have not meditated. They have not spent time in solitary. They're not working with their crystals, and depending on who they are. Let's just say you're a water sign. You know what I'm saying? You need to first master your first element of water. How do you work with water? If you're an earth sign, you need to, Aleister Crowley got a book, Libra 7-7, and it talks about like an Aries. They're a fire of fire. And then you have the Leo, which is fire of air. So you're working with fire and air. And then you have the Sagittarius, which is fire and water. You know what I'm saying? So you got to know your element. And you first have to master those elements. And it takes time. It takes time to establish a link with these deities, with these ancestors, even necromancy. I'm a necromancer. It doesn't come overnight. Yes, you're born with a gift.
It took 7 years for my mother to show me.
You can't be afraid of that shit either. You gotta be willing to. You gotta get some nuts. You gotta get some courage to do this shit, because it takes that. It takes your strength, not your strength for somebody to pat you on the back and say, "Oh, this is what I did." No, we talking about that real shit. Let's deal with your bullshit that you hiding. I'm tired of niggas hiding they pedophilia, that fucked up shit going on in their mind. Bitch, bring it to the surface, because I bring my shit to the surface and I want to deal with that shit. Meaning that
everything is going to be brought to the surface.
Bring that shit out.
Yeah, everything is going to be brought to the surface, because see, now we're in the age of Aquarius. This is that Uranus energy. This deals with the collective. You know what I'm saying? And this is the upset card. This is where the whale is going to be pulled back. This is why you see all these scandals right now. And it's going to be hidden.
That's right.
I love it, because people hate to upset the card. They go want it. They go chase that shit down the block while everything is falling off. No, hold your shit tight, and you don't have to chase it, you dummy.
Exactly.
There you go. All right, Liz, we got some questions in the chat. I want to go to some questions in the chat. Raven, what questions do you got in the chat there? Raven. Raven.
What you doing?
Earth calling the Raven. Come in, Raven.
What an idiot of us.
Oh, I was just trying to make sure I was off mute. I mute myself because I was kind of moving around.
What you got?
Well, there was a question that I have 2 questions in the chat. And people, let me just say this while I'm at it. I don't know. Mom V has typed it in like 1,001 times. I have typed it in also. This is honestly just literally like gonna be my last time of just being courteous to you guys. Please put your questions in caps if you want them. I'm not gonna sit here. I'm not Beniti. I'm not gonna sit here and just play scroll and look for some shit. I'm not gonna sit here and read fucking comments. That's just not me. So when I say if he's asking me to handle the chat, I want y'all to know this is how I'm going to handle the chat. These guests are here for you guys. They're not here for me. They're not here for Brother Beniti. They're here for you. So if you have questions, please, peeps, put them in caps. I have no problem reading them, because I want them to be asked and answered for you guys. Okay, that's all. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to be mean and nasty. It is what it is. So, but since I had time to sit here and play scroll, I found some more questions in the chat.
All right.
Yeah.
And one was for Bafa. No, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but it's just being respectful.
Right.
If someone asks you to do something, just be respectful and do that. That's all it is. I'm just not gonna treat you. I'm gonna treat you like you want to.
Children.
There you go. But hold on. I'm getting ready to correct that statement. I'm going to treat you. I'm going to treat you how you want to be treated. That's on, and figure that out. All right. So the question was for Bafa. Created in Darkness wanted to know, have you ever encountered a trickster spirit?
Yeah, a lot of trick niggas out here, you know what I'm saying? Trying to trick a bitch, but a bitch is a trickster too. Let's get
walking down the street.
I don't play them games. See, I had to learn though, but I got it now. But yes, trickster spirits are all over, but you have to become a trickster. You know what I'm saying? You gotta become that fool. I let people think I'm a fool, but I ain't a fool, okay? So
that's right. Sometimes you gotta play the fool.
Right.
Okay?
Exactly, Ani. Shit, I don't play that one. Yes, I have to his question. But the way you deal with that, you have to learn. You have to learn that energy in yourself, because you only tricking yourself. See, I ain't got time to be playing games with external, motherfuckers putting on these, these personas and these outfits and trying to pretend they this and that. And that's what this path also teaches me, is to learn how to read that particular kind of energy when I'm approached with it. Shit, because there's a lot of tricksters out here. Trust me.
A shoe is in charge of your feet. Everyone is a shoe to a certain degree. Ogun is in charge of the sinew.
What if you got jacked up feet and they throwing gang signs? How does that work?
I got pretty ass feet.
That's life. Your feet are not you. Your feet are not you.
Motherfuckers clean. That's all I gotta say.
That's it. That's it. If they're clean and they don't stink, you good. They ain't gotta look good to be good.
I'm just saying, because some people shit like this. They got that.
Yeah, they have the whole conversations. We get it.
I ain't fucking with that.
Yeah, but then again, you get a lot of people that be like, yeah, your feet need to look a certain way. Then when you see their shit, they on hammer time.
Well, what about this one? What about this one? Motherfuckers wearing sandals and they shit like.
Oh no.
Gemini's got a thing with feet. I don't know what it is. Y'all got a thing with feet. Geminis, y'all probably like to suck toes on the low. You suck toes, Brother Beniti?
Hey, as long as they wash.
See? He don't care.
Shit. Fuck that.
All right, so what's the next question we got? The next question. Raven in the chat.
All right. Yep. And the next one was, I hope it did too. I think they was looking for something else, but you came with the real. Okay, I don't think they were expecting. I don't think they was expecting the real.
That was that toe magic right there. That was toe magic.
You better like the raw shit, because that's what this is about. We in the times of war right now, and it's time to kick ass, and I'm not playing. Either you down, you a leader, or you a fucking simp. Get the fuck on. I don't want that. I need warriors. I need leaders. Fuck a follower. Fuck that shit. I'm on the real shit. Be real about it. And that's right. If I get pissed off, I might create a motherfucking hurricane. Bring oil on your ass. I don't know.
I agree.
But I've done
it. That's right.
Don't get me started. Shit on not no bullshit. Anyway, we tired of that. We are. We tired of that. And women need to start, stop all this, like Mama Priestess say about that handmaiden shit. I'm tired of handmaiden bitches pretending to be dark goddesses. No, you're not.
Yeah, I'll submit. And I'll submit when you're submittable.
You ain't even the light hole. Fuck that. No. Get your shit right. Get your shit right and tight. Because my shit tight, trust me. I don't have
your crown chakra is opening up. I see you got your hands on top of your head. What happened? What happened?
I'm falling back, man. I don't want to get attacked, man. I'm falling back.
You caused all of this. You caused all of this. You caused all of this.
Okay,
but you know what? But you know what? Wait a second. But you know what I like about that answer? Because it kept it on the real. It didn't go in outer space. It didn't go in outer space. It gave you those facts that you need. Those trigger spirits that you need to be looking out for. The ones that's in your everyday face.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Motherfucking ass. So y'all gonna get some strict shit too. Y'all need to go do the work and stop, begging answers and asking everybody these dumb questions. I don't like people asking me dumb ass shit. Don't ask me nothing if it's dumb. Ask yourself that shit first, because that's what I do. I just go with the dark shit first and ask the questions. Then I get the answers from that motherfucking shit too.
There you go.
Get your shit together. That's what I get. Get your shit together.
That's it. I'm gonna put out some T-shirts. Get your shit together. I'm gonna put a Bafa Marga.
And don't ask me no dumb ass questions. Ask you yourself.
No, I would say, I'm gonna put out a T-shirt.
I said I ain't got time for that shit.
I'm gonna put that shirt out.
Shit, put it out. I like that idea.
Hey, what's the second question before we forget that second question?
Okay. The second question was for Priestess. Because Priestess was talking about it. So Priestess all said this one is for you. Evelyn wanted to know if you can please elaborate a little bit more on offering Mr. Blood to land spirits.
Okay, well, when you get your period, whether you use a pad or a tampon, okay?
Hey, Jack, you're writing this down, Jack, right?
Okay.
Hell no, you try me, dog. Yeah, like you put across your forehead and shit.
Only we can produce the power of coagulated man, my brothers.
All right. Anyway, let her finish. Go ahead,
What you can do is you can save either your pads or your tampon, and you have one or two ways you can do it. Now, I have a tree in my backyard, so what I do is I take the pads, when I'm done with them, and I'll take them outside, and I'll sprinkle just a bit of warm water on them, and I will wring them out into the earth. You know what I'm saying? That's your way of spot. Or you can dip the pads in some warm water. You can dip the pads or the tampons in some warm water, and you can squeeze them out till the water is nice and thick and bloody. You understand? And that is your offering that you give to the earth. You know what I'm saying? In some Native American tradition, what you can do is even cut up your pads and you can bury them in the earth with a petition. But for me, what I like to do is use like a tree and put it at the tree in the direction of east to bring in new opportunities. And you can save them for when it's an opportune time, like today is a Thursday. You know what I'm saying? Today is the day of Jupiter. Today is one of Shango and Oshun's day, even though her day is tomorrow too. And you can use that energy to bring in whatever it is that you're trying to manifest.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I think also the moon is in Capricorn.
It is.
So we're dealing with
my daughter's a Capricorn.
Right. Yes. So we're dealing with a Capricorn moon and Aries sun. And the Aries.
Yes.
Right. And so the Aries energy is dealing with Ogun and Sekhmet.
Yes. I'm an Aries. Watch out now.
That warrior.
Right.
Okay.
And then we got the Capricorn energy, which is the energy of the crone. Now, this is the underworld dealing with a Rishta god. This can also deal with the energy of Oya, you know, even though Oya deal with that Pluto energy too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's all in working with those energies, you know? Yeah, and that's the way how you use your period blood to manifest to do blood sacrifice. And when you're doing it, you give a prayer, whether you give a prayer to Mother Earth, Gaia, whoever, you know what I'm saying, to yourself. Even what the great mother said, worship yourself. And I give of this offering. I give of my essence, my energy, my blood sacrifice into the earth to manifest that which I desire.
Priestess, I have a question for you, Priestess. Someone
wait a second, Oni. Wait a second, Oni.
Okay, because somebody I just saw something in the chat that's like, damn, what do they do? I don't mean the names, but I'm just saying, like, the question is, if the person typed in the chat, Soul Therapy Tarot, they say, what if you don't have a period, Priestess?
Well, if you don't have a period, then you can give now, and this would be going into sex magic. Now, I'm grown, I'm 51 years old. So if you masturbate, you can take some of those fluids. You can even take your urine and give it back to the earth. You know what I'm saying?
I knew I was doing the right thing. Look at this.
Yeah, I mean, it's all up to you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Listen, man, I want to be clear. Disclaimer, because you heard it on the show. I don't want to get no calls that people see you in your backyard pissing.
Right.
Yo, I was driving down the. I was on the freeway, man. I had my windows open. I see piss coming out of the car, dog.
No, but here's the thing. You have to be discreet, and you can put it in a bottle, you know, and it's up to the person. If you want to put some cinnamon in it to bring in that money energy, some basil, you know, you can even put in some ginger to make it quicker, to give it that hot energy. Some cayenne pepper if you're trying to heck somebody up, some black salt. It's all up to you. Whatever it is, I've even, you know, used the urine, and you can mix it with some money oil that you have made. You know what I'm saying? It's all up to you. And the same thing with the men. You can use your semen. You know what I'm saying? And
I've been a victim of them spells too. Them semen spells.
Hey, let me real quick in relation to that, just so I don't miss this real quick. I know it's at the end, but I would like to address this. The person, Blair Jones, I'm not sure when you came into the room. No, that's not what we're saying at all. You can give blood to deities in certain systems and cultures. That's not, I don't know at what point you came in. What we were talking about earlier is you have to be careful when you're giving blood to certain energies or deities, because that might require them becoming even more aggressive and require more blood, and you might not be able to live up.
How you doing, Mama Muerte?
Hold on 1 second. Hold up 1 second. Hey, time out. People, time out. Too much noise. I just want to address this question because I don't want no misconception. I don't know if you guys heard the question or saw it. Nobody said you can't give blood to deities. You do that in certain cultures and in certain spiritual systems. But we were saying earlier, you have to be careful of what you're feeding blood, because it makes those spirits and those energies want it more. And as long as you know what you're doing, that's one thing. But if you, especially in Palo, if you start going amok with that and doing blood offerings and you're not prepared for that, you might be tapping into something you're not able to commit to.
Right. And can I just chime in here, Benin, for a minute?
Yes. Priestess, before you do that, Priestess, hold up. Guys, we have a lot of people in the room. You're gonna have to keep your background noise muted, please, or I'm gonna have to mute everybody.
Okay.
Thank you. I was just about to say that. Thanks.
It's too much background noise and too much back chatter. So please, when somebody is speaking, let's try to be quiet, because I can't hear anything. We're all talking too much in the background. All right.
Right.
So let Priestess answer the question. And if you got background noise, just go ahead and mute.
Right. What I wanted to jump in and say, even you know, I work with Paulo and I have a printer in my house. You know what I'm saying? And even I seen one time on YouTube, and this was a white girl, and I don't know what system she went through, but she was sitting up there saying she got an Ogum pot feeding Ogum blood, her period blood. Now, as you know, that is some fuckery right there, because you cannot give blood to Ogum or the Zarabanda. There's certain spirits. I even met people, some young boys that are into claiming that they're Paleros or whatever, told them to sacrifice dogs to Ogum. Well, how are you doing that when one of Ogum's favorite animals is dogs? You know what I'm saying? So people really have to know what they are doing, because like we've said, there are certain entities that will mimic these deities that you are trying to establish a connection with, that will get addicted to this blood, and then you have some whole other shit on your hands. You know what I'm saying? So people have to really be learned and be knowledgeable in knowing what they're working with and how to work with these energies. Now, just giving blood to the earth is fine. That's fine, because you're giving it back to Gaia. You're giving it back to the mother. You know what I'm saying? But when you're talking about dealing with deities and giving blood, or demons, you know what I'm saying? And I know jinns don't deal with blood. You know what I'm saying? So that's a whole nother area that you really have to make sure you know what the hell you're doing.
Right. And that's why I wanted to address that, because like you were describing, feeding the earth, not just blood, like you said, bodily fluids. And that was a good question by the sister that had asked, what if you don't have your period? That was actually a really good question. So remember, all body fluids can be used for a magical purpose, but I think we need to understand the difference, for an example, of working with Gaia or the earth, like you're saying, and obviously working with a system, working with deities and feeding them blood, such as like Palo, Voodoo, etc. They're different systems and they serve different purposes. So no, by all means, that does exist. I you know, some of us here came up through that. So we know that. So I just wanted to clarify that it does serve a purpose, just so we're clear. But like Priestess is saying, like I'm saying, if that's a path you choose and you're going to work with blood sacrifice, I always recommend, when I did it, I got somebody that was initiated in the knife, that went through the training and skilling, knowing how to slaughter the animals correctly, knowing the correct rituals. Because if you don't know that, I definitely don't recommend you do that. Because one, if that is practice in all these systems, they always, whoever is doing it should be skilled in correctly killing that animal. So there's no pain, there's no suffering, it's done quick. And there's a certain ritual and a technique that we call it being, you know, the initiation of the knife in that system. And some people are skilled, and that's one of their, you know, main skills that they do. And they're hired just for that in a lot of those systems. They're brought in just for that purpose.
Brother B, can I say something
on
that point right there? I'm going to tell y'all right now, as far as that knife shit, don't fuck with it unless the person is qualified for a 4-leg or 2-leg.
Correct.
I know people personally that went out there and thought that they could just go buy a brand new machete, no divination, nothing. And their asses got whipped like a shit. Their ass was putty. That's all I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, it's just, again, do it right.
I saw it with my own eyes. That's why I was like, look, that knife shit is serious. You cannot go out there and do that, especially when it comes to metal, because that's the type of stuff that can injure you on this third realm, you see.
Right.
And one thing that Priestess said, I want to back up, that whole thing with Ogun, and you know, in some houses, I'm gonna tell you where that dog thing comes from. In some houses, they'll teach, and this is Ifa, this ain't even Palo and shit. Like you said with Zarabanda, because that's who I, you know, scratched in with Palo. You don't give Zarabanda blood. That's fucking like, you're asking for, yeah, that's a whole nother story. But Ogun, they'll teach in certain houses that at some stage, a son of Ogun or a daughter of Ogun has to sacrifice a black dog to Ogun. Now, I personally am not in agreement with that, but that is taught in some circles. She's 100% correct. And I can tell you, I've encountered people who were, quote unquote, crowned Ogun, as they say. I know they say the son or the daughter. That's just a term for being crowned. That Orishi, and they're actually being prepared to do that shit down the road, which is crazy. But in my opinion, I say crazy because I just don't get it. And that is one of the animals that's sacred to Ogun. And most dealing with the Orishi, you're not supposed to desecrate any animals that's sacred to them.
I don't do all that. I ain't got.
If it's a natural death, if the dog is just old and you had him like 15, 16 years and he died and it's a black dog, then somehow Ogun got that sacrifice, but you don't just do it, you know?
But let me say this. That's the point of this path where we're all at now. That's the difference between what we do now and then, because this path is about, that's part of one of the things you got to shed in doing the shadow work. We don't deal, we're not slaves to the traditions anymore. You understand that?
Right.
That's the difference. So we're not slaves to the traditions anymore.
Right.
Okay? So we don't have to worry now. All right, we're discussing it, we're talking about it maybe for newer people that's finding their way on the path, but we can work this path and activate the power of these gods, goddesses, deities, archetypes. Well, personally, I'm at the point where really it's a mental thing. I don't need any of that shit anymore.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm glad you said that.
So, but anyway.
And this is where the Kabbalion comes in. This is where the Kabbalah comes in, of you building the lighted temple. And once you study these 7 hermetic principles, you know, the principle of mentalism, the principle of rhythm, of gender.
The connection went and got funky.
And you let it marinate within you. You can literally use your mind. There's a book called Cyclomancy by Rudolph Young. It's teaching you how to use your mind, you know what I'm saying, to be in tune with the environment around you, because ultimately you have to evolve to that level of magic.
Yes, you do.
You know, I think it's interesting you say that because from my personal experience, I've noticed that in my workings, it's more powerful when I work more visualization, mental magic than like, you know, doing like 50 different things and, you know, spitting on the ground and doing, you know, it's like it comes to a certain point. I think once you as you grow more in your skill, you start realizing like, you know, you start shedding a lot of things. You start realizing all you really need is just yourself. You don't really need a lot of external things. So it's good that you guys said that. My question to you guys is that
wait a second, Jack, before you ask that question.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Jack. Wait a minute. I just want to let everybody know Beniti is having his infamous famous issues at this particular moment. So I just want everybody to know he'll be back.
First it was me, now it's you, Beniti. Look at that.
Okay, and after Jack's question, we do have some more questions for Bafa in the chat. So go ahead, Jack.
Go ahead, Jack.
Yeah. Okay. From a female perspective, right? I think, you know, you guys carry a different type of energy. I feel like a more of a do for self, strong leadership type of energy coming from a female. I know a lot of brothers don't like that because they associate femininity as a soft, you know, kind of like they need somebody to take charge, right? So on this path as a woman, do you think it's a little harder for you? Like you tend to be misunderstood, you know, just like who you are? Because me personally, you know, you're just you, but some men are kind of see the world a certain way, right? So I can tell like some people might misunderstand you, right? So do you think that, like, from your perspective, how do you guys deal with, you know, kind of keep explaining who you are, or you just say, fuck it, I don't explain who I am, I just, you know, it is what it is. Like, what's your thoughts?
Right, on this path, you shouldn't have to explain who you are because we ain't got time for that. I know I don't have time for it. So I'm speaking for me and all the other women that feel
which
the same
is my number one problem right now in my relationship.
Shit.
Just saying.
Yeah, but see, a lot of these men that have problems with so-called alpha female. Now, when you look at a sister like Serena Williams, Angela Bassett, you know what I'm saying? These are women that descended from the Amazonian line.
Yes,
See, when you go back to the great mothers. You know, even when you look in the Celtic pantheon and you have the deity like what's her name? Bridget. You know what I'm saying? Rhiannon. You understand what these men don't understand? The goddess, the great primordial mother, Tiamat. This is where it all started. And the male gods went to war against the divine matriarchy. You understand? And through this time of the patriarchy that screwed them up into thinking that they're supposed to have their foot on a woman's neck. No, that's not it. That's why you see Serena went out and got her a beta male. You know what I'm saying? Because how many men can deal with a Serena Williams? You understand? Because they're intimidated. And see, at this point, it's either you level up or just level out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we ain't even got time to be there. Because see, when you know who you are as an alpha female, as of the divine feminine, because what people got to know is there are different aspects of the divine feminine. Some women are Kuan Yin, some women are Kali Ma, some women are Tiamat, some women are Arishkagal, some women are all of those. And then some. You understand? So when you understand that, then there is no need for him to be afraid. See, what it is he don't want to tap into his inner Nurgle that fought with Tiamat. You know what I'm saying? He want to be Marduk and Enki.
Right.
And that's not going to work. That's not going to work because that's not even a natural order.
Every day. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up.
Please don't, because I ain't either.
I'm gonna keep on, keep fighting.
Well, the thing, I from my experience, right? Because I tend to carry a very strong, you know, masculine energy, right? So,
okay,
like
that's
warring type energy. So I think for me is like, you know, I think for me, from my experience with dealing with women is, especially in your lightness, is like.
Not my teddy bear. Not my teddy bear.
Now here we go. But I think the
Not
thing
my
is that
teddy bear. My teddy bear do not walk around with that energy.
but
Not my teddy bear.
I think the key is like once you see it in yourself, right, who you are as a man, right. I think what's gonna happen is, you be able to let her be who she is, because I think a lot of men she needs to be this way. She gotta be more controlling.
Right.
But at the end of the day, everybody's here to make themselves happy. You gotta make yourself happy, and my job is not to make you happy. So I think the key is that when you really understand yourself, then you can be with a woman like that lightness.
Jack, there's
That's how I'm
men out
realizing
there
it.
that are very hard to be able to appreciate the woman that they're with and to accept. Like, listen, you out of all other brothers and Beniti and Raven and everybody that's here knows, listen, I've been with the love of my life for 18 years.
Right.
And every single day it's a learning process because I grow. I was 18 years old when I met this man. So my growth for him is something new every single day. And I saw the beauty in him the day I met him.
That's beautiful.
He didn't. You know what I mean? So